Is that it up there? Is this it?
I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to find out.
Whoa. Holy shit, dude.
I
Not happy
remember.
about it.
I remember. You remember Star Wars? You remember Micah having bedbugs? Oh, yeah, I remember. Do you think those bedbugs knew they were bougie? Something ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Hidden Valley.
No.
You want to hit this ranch, bro? She's still pretty attractive and has some rockin' tits on her. What's up, Grandma?
I can't believe you knew that rockin' tits.
Are they just like conning people?
Yes.
And it's always these dudes that like don't wipe their ass all the way. They're like, as long as they don't hit on me, like nobody wants to hit on you. You're ugly and you stink. And you have a bad attitude.
You ass be stinking. Dude, especially when I'm about to come, like, play with my balls, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
please
that's
do.
what I was going to say.
Whether it's your hand or your mouth, like, play with my balls.
He's probably like, man, sometimes I just really just want to suck dick.
Yeah.
I have never, ever been like, oh, I'm craving some dick in my mouth.
I don't know how you can. Like, I can devour you. Like, I literally, like.
While we wait for Wes to leave and for us to not be
This is getting
recording.
so horny.
Jeez.
You have the floor.
Hello, everybody. This is Blue Skies from the Basement. This is a podcast where we live, we laugh, and we love.
Live, laugh, love, guys. Live, laugh, love. You're laughing too hard already. Let her
See?
go.
Yeah.
Let her
okay.
go. Keep going.
So joining me today are my pals. We've got Wes to the right of me, and then in front of me is my husband, Austin, and we're gonna have a great time today. Woo! Today we've got lots of fun things to talk about. You know, TikToks, and you know, we'll just see where it takes us. So, how are you guys doing today?
I love the energy. Like,
Dude.
that was so way more positive than we've ever been. And part of our whole like tagline for the show is like, we're a positive podcast.
I just thought it was really funny that she used a live, laugh, love because I remember you saying, like, how people having that hanging up in their house.
I fucking, when you guys had the live, laugh, love thing hanging up the wall back at the other apartment, I shat on it like immediately.
It's okay. We got a lot of wedding presents,
Yeah.
a lot of decor, which like super appreciative.
Yeah.
When you first like get your own place and like start getting your shit together, like anything that people give you, you're like happy to have because that's one thing that you didn't have before. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's like necessarily your style or like whatever. And now we're at the point like when we moved into this place where I was like, I'm gonna donate a lot of these things. Like
Yeah.
this isn't my style. And now we have mushroom butts on the wall over there, and that is my style. So
Yeah. It makes more sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. Maybe I'll get something ironically to put up, like something.
You should get one of those like super expensive, like quilted painting type, like tapestry blankets that you
Oh,
hang. It's
yeah.
got like the wooden thing that it's hanging from and everything, and it's like got a Jesus quote on the bottom.
I'm afraid of tapestry.
They have it
now.
at the thrift store,
Yeah.
maybe.
We used to have one of those hanging up in my mom's house, and I would get mad at it as I walked by it because it was like on the landing up the stairs. So I'd just be like, "Fuck you," and then just keep walking up to my room. So basic white middle class.
Yeah, I'm afraid of tapestry now.
Why?
When is it okay if I say where, babe?
Just like a few years ago, the place that we were staying, like we just happened to get bed bugs.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know where the fuck they came
we were
from.
both working in a restaurant at the time,
So-
and like
And she's a server, so like going into booths and all that other shit. But they found their way to the tapestry, and
Yeah.
like that's like was their home. Like that's where we found like the majority of them, besides our bed, which the tapestry was like hung down on the wall
Yeah.
at the like headrest, you know.
Yeah.
And so like that's where I found most of them at.
Do you
and,
think those
like,
bed bugs knew they were bougie? Like, do you think they were
Do-
like
do-
they acted
do-
like?
Do you remember what that tapestry was?
No.
It was all black and it had like a weed plant on it.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So it was that one. So like We had some stoner bed bugs.
Well, I mean, how many bed bugs get to live in a tapestry? Like,
I mean, true.
they're like,
yeah.
they're like in the high rise apartments, you know, like downtown. Like they're looking down on the other plebe fucking bed bugs.
Did I ever tell you the story of like how we found them, or like how we like? Okay, so we were laying in bed like watching TV or something like that, or like smoking a bowl or something, and I felt like a bug on me or something. And I like wiped it off and didn't think anything of it. I just like wiped it off, like whatever.
Right.
And then I felt it again. And like was like, okay, no, there's like a fucking bug in our bed. Like, what the fuck?
I think
so
you did tell me. Yeah.
So I get up and like look down, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then we looked it up and realized it was a fucking bed bug. And then all hell fucking broke loose after that. I mean, it was like we bagged up all of our fucking clothes.
My mom helped us.
Yeah. Luckily, her mom kind of knew what to do.
Yeah.
Like,
She was like, go get this and this and do this and that.
yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah, and it helped us out a lot because we definitely did get rid of them, like for sure. But it was a lot of like we only had a certain amount of clothes because all of our other clothes were in like trash bags that we left out like in the garage because like heat kind of like kills them, and it was like during the summer when this had happened too.
Yeah.
So like we left them out in the garage and like just in the bags, and like all of our shit was just fucked basically. Like it sucked. It really does suck. Like anybody that gets bed bugs that actually gives a shit that tries to get rid of them, like it's a whole fucking process. And then finding out where they're at and then killing them with like a spray of like alcohol and like something else.
I don't remember.
I don't remember
It
either.
doesn't
Like
even matter.
It's such
But
like
yeah.
a cute name for such a terrible little parasite too.
yeah.
Like,
And then like when you're a kid and they're like, night, like sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. I'm
That
like,
shit terrifies
my
me now.
stepdad was a dick too. Like he would be like, the bed bugs are gonna bite. Like he'd leave the room like they're gonna bite you.
He's not wrong though. Like he's not wrong, but like
no, I loved him.
dude,
He was
that
right. But
that shit terrifies me now. They're like, don't let the bed bugs bite, and I like get a shiver up my spine. I'm like,
it's creepy. There's little bugs in your bed.
I was like, oh, like a few years later, I'm like, I want to get this tapestry. He's like, no, we don't get those anymore.
nope.
We don't fuck with tapestry.
No.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't want excess cloth in my house.
Most kids are like, my parents won't let me get a piercing. Amelia's gonna be like, my dad is so lame. He won't let me get a tapestry in my room.
I mean, maybe at some point, yeah.
That's an awesome line to
Like-
have, though.
I guess since like you're not working in a restaurant anymore, and like the kind of jobs that I work at, where I'm a part of the building process, so usually like bed bugs aren't like a thing in like new buildings, where you're building shit. So I think we could now. I just still had PTSD from that shit, to be
Hold on,
honest with
I'm
you.
gonna get one.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down now, but
Ooh,
we just
for,
gotta
like,
be
our
careful.
room.
I'll be like checking that shit like
You have
weekly.
Post-traumatic bed bugs and
I have
PTBB.
yeah. Oh, jeez.
The only reason I have had any experience with them ever was when I was little, living with that stepdad that would say that fucked up shit. The mother-in-law suite that was attached to the house upstairs where his mom lived. So my grandmother-in-law, her name was Fran, and she was from like a Czechoslovakian type country. She was real hardcore, but she had bed bugs in her room, and she would talk to me all the time about like waking up with little blood spots on her. And one day I went up like early to go like watch morning Sunday cartoons or whatever, and she showed me like all the blood spots when she got up, and I was like, that's creepy. And then I would have nightmares about like spiders and bugs and shit in the garage and up in her.
So they didn't
like,
fucking take care of it? They just
I
let
think
her
eventually
live with
they
the bed
did,
bugs?
but there was like 3-4 months where like it may have been less than that, but as a kid it felt like grandma just has bed bugs that eat her at night.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And so they say with bed bugs, they when they bite, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
They have 3 bites in a row. I don't think me and you ever got bit. I think that the first time that we like realized that we had them was when I was awake, like laying in bed, and
Yeah.
like that motherfucker was trying to crawl on me, and like I felt it and was like,
Well-
no, fuck this. Like
We weren't really sleeping a lot at the time. We were
No, that's
like
true.
partying and stuff.
we
so-
were definitely doing some shit that keeps you up at at all hours of the day. So
not
Yeah.
meth.
No,
it's not meth, but yeah. So
Ritalin.
that's
That's legal.
Monster.
Monster. Yeah, there you go.
It
We were
might
drinking
be
lots
in
of Monster.
It might be in Monster.
I was drinking
You
3
never
of those
know.
5-hour energies and staying up for 15 hours.
Yeah, so we didn't notice, I guess.
No, so, but yeah, dude, like I
That's
don't,
probably less healthy for you than just doing a bunch of acid.
because I remember Micah had bed bugs at
Yeah.
one point too, and like, so we like just didn't go over there, didn't go into
remember
Micah's
that,
like
yeah.
room, and like I remember his roommate freaking out about it too. It was
Mhm.
like,
I also remember that.
yeah, he was
I
not happy
remember.
about it.
I remember.
You remember Star Wars?
You remember Micah having bed bugs?
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh fuck! But took care of it, bro. He was
Yeah.
like all the shit in trash bags. I was like, listen, I know what to do, bro. I got you. Like, we'll take care of this shit. Yeah, no.
Don't ever look up dust mites,
I don't want to. Shut the fuck up.
because those are ones that like you don't get. They're there. Like it's just
You can't get rid of them.
Well,
Okay, let's move on now.
don't look up what they look like.
Nope. It's all good.
What's
Yeah.
the ones that look like
I don't
tiny
want
elephants?
to talk like.
Oh, the
About
ones that those are totally harmless.
Mhm.
Water bears or
Yes.
Fuck, what's the scientific name for them?
I can't. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, it's like on the tip of my tongue.
The scientific name for water bears
Water
is
bears.
Yeah.
on the tip of your tongue.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's one of those like tardigrade. It's a tardigrade.
Tardigrade?
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna double check you on that.
No, it's a tardigrade because that sounds offensive and wrong, but it is a tardigrade.
Hey Siri.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Tardigrade.
Tardigrade.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
he's
it's
right.
good.
Tardigrades, often called water bears or moss piglets, are
What?
near microscopic animals with long, plump bodies and scrunched up heads. They have 8 legs and hands with 4 to 8 claws on each. While strangely cute, these tiny animals are
They are
almost
kinda cute.
indestructible and can even survive in outer space.
Yeah. There's theories that they're like aliens that just arrived here by floating through space. And
Hell yeah! I
Mhm.
mean, they can live in outer space, so it makes sense.
I talked to my grandma the other day. She called me and she's asked me like other stuff I can get you,
Yeah.
other than freaking gift cards. And then she's like, "Oh, I've been watching this show. It's about aliens." And then we got on aliens, and then she's like, "I believe." She's like, "I know they're real, but I can't really
Yeah.
like talk about it with people because."
Is that?
So
Are we outing a conspiracy
not
theorist
trying-
right
I'm
you're
now?
gonna have to bleep it.
I'm not trying to like. But she's Christian though. Isn't
Christians
she?
can believe in aliens.
She
Can
is
they?
Catholic. I'm
Look,
pretty
She's
sure.
Catholic though.
The Pope said hell's not real. So, like,
Yeah, but I thought that was a thing between like.
Well, that's why she
Christians
can't
and-
really talk about it because Pop Dave's, he does not believe in it.
Really?
Oh yeah, so like she doesn't really like she can't. I mean, I feel like it's not like he's like, I'm gonna punch you in the face if you talk about it, but it's more like don't talk about that shit. Like it's not real. Like that's bullshit.
That
like-
blows my mind when people don't think that like they think that like we're the only like
yeah.
civilization or like whatever in the entire universe. Like that just blows my mind.
I think those are people who like have thought like, oh, it's big out there, but have never like actually processed what that means. Like, you know,
You-
like,
I mean, have you really processed?
well,
what that
you
means?
can't, but I've thought about it more than
Yeah.
most people
Yeah,
spend the time.
I would think so.
And I'm not saying like I've thought about it so much that I know, but it's like
Well-
there's more than likely fucking aliens
Yeah.
out there.
I've
yeah.
always like believed for the most part. Like I feel like
yeah.
because I mean even before aliens, I mean there's so many other things that you're taught to believe in, and then so I always believed in those things, and then like ghosts and
Mhm.
witches and all that. Like I think that all those things are real. Do I think that there's a lot of people pretending to be a witch or claiming to be a witch when they actually are not? Yeah, for sure. But that's like anything.
Oh, I have a good story.
But I watched 2 different like videos on the UFO sighting in the Berkshires.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting, and now I'm like, they're for sure real. Like,
I'll
Duh.
send you a couple of like the more like there's obviously something happened here. I'll have to find them, but like I'll send you on Instagram.
What was that
like
farm?
Something ranch.
Oh yeah.
Hidden Valley.
No.
You want to hit this ranch, bro? It's Hidden Valley.
That was good, babe.
Not Tahone Ranch. That's the place Joe Rogan always talks about, but it's something like Body Snatcher, Skinwalker.
Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever want to know, like, or like UFO sightings and shit, look up Skinwalker Ranch.
Government bought, or like a contractor for the government bought that entire property to like send in a forensic paranormal team to like investigate the whole thing, because there was like reports of UFO sightings, ghosts, all sorts of crazy shit.
I mean, shit was going down over
Yeah.
there. Like, seriously. Like, that's why, like, the government bought the land, because they were like, no, this is a high, shit's going down over here.
Yeah. What you got, bud?
Oh, it's about Christmas presents.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Christmas is coming.
Yeah. It's from Dominic's girlfriend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
me? Christmas presents for me?
no, it's not a Christmas present for you. It's for what we're
Oh.
getting for somebody else.
Okay. Well, you know what would be a good Christmas present? Watching some TikToks.
Who you want to watch some TikTok?
Can I tell this story real quick
Yeah,
related to the witches
Absolutely.
thing?
You go ahead.
So I don't remember all the details, but there was this guy who was like 76, almost 80 years old, somewhere in that range. And he came into the shop when I worked at my grandma's. We did embroidery there too. That's how I got into the whole business for the listeners. And he would hit on my grandma, and he would just stare at. You've met my grandma before. For an
Yeah.
older woman, she's still pretty attractive and has some rockin' tits on her. What's up, grandma?
I can't believe you just said rockin' tits.
Hey, Grammy.
You really? After babies,
I mean,
it's
good
only
point.
logical that
No,
it
good
would go
point.
baby's grandma.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
I love all rocking tits. Regardless, I don't see age. That's the wrong thing to say.
Age is just a number.
Age is just a number. Anyway,
Before you continue, did we get Kristen something?
Yes, we did.
Okay, all right.
So would you say that you're
Would you say your grandma's hot?
No, I was gonna ask if you're rocking around the titmus tree. Damn.
rocking around. Yeah. No, I always. I am a tit man. I'd like an ass too. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so this guy would come into the shop and just stare at her tits the whole time I was talking to her, and then he had this crazy story to go along with it, which I wish I remembered the whole thing, but she would just like tolerate it because she thought it was funny.
Wait,
so this dude,
Grammy would just be like, she'd just let it happen, not be like, my eyes are up here.
and he would always like talk about ordering things, but would never actually order anything from us. He just wanted to come in and stare at her cleavage, and then she got to the point where she was like entertained. You'll when you hear what this guy said. But she also loved the attention, so she
Yeah.
started wearing like shorter and shorter cut tops.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna wear my push-up bra today.
yeah, exactly.
Just hoping that this dude comes in today.
Well, it was a shop phenomenon. Like everybody that worked there at the time was like, I wonder when that guy's gonna come back. So when he would come back, and then every time he would tell the story of how he was raised in a witch's coven. Like he was stolen from his parents at a young age, and this coven of like 13 witches, or what, it was a sacred number, so I'm just assuming 13, raised him and raped him and beat him and cut off his dick, but somehow he still has a penis because he would talk about like making love to my grandma. I don't know.
Strap on.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that situation is. But he would talk about like all this crazy shit that they did to him and made him do like satanic rituals and stuff like that. And he would just come in and just like open up and pour like all this to all of us, and we're all just like gathered around listening to this like elderly man tell us about his experience in a coven. And then the whole time he's doing that though, just staring at my grandma's tits.
No fucking way,
Yeah,
dude.
Dude was awesome. I wish I remembered his name. I'd say it on the podcast.
Well, yeah, I'm that motherfucker.
I don't know if he's still around. That was like 10 years ago.
Who knows? But
Yeah.
still, if he is, like, that's unacceptable, dude.
No.
That's
It was pretty
unacceptable.
funny. It was really entertaining.
I mean, it's.
Sometimes mental illness.
I mean, yeah. But in this case, because the only reason that it's okay was because Grammy was okay with it.
Also, he was rich. He was driving around like a convertible, and like he was like obviously in his earlier life had done something that made him like well off, and he could just talk crazy, and people were like, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, look,
Yeah.
the only reason that it was okay was because Grammy entertained it. If Grammy had an issue with it and was like, this dude creeps me out, obviously you guys would have stepped in. Like, other people would have stepped in and been like, no, you can't come in here.
No,
like,
it was almost charming.
But yeah. So as
Yeah.
long as she found it okay,
Yeah.
and you guys entertained it, then whatever. You know, you entertained it to a certain point. He never did anything fucking crazy, whatever. But
Yeah.
there's that difference, you know. It's on a spectrum of like what is really creepy and what's not depends on what is kind of happening to that person. Like,
I think
most people would like me looking at that from the outside in. I'm like, that was fucking creepy. But Grammy
rationalizing
being like, I'm flattered, makes me laugh.
Me rationalizing it is like the whole reason he had that crazy story was so that he could mask. Whoa, that didn't happen.
I didn't know that happens.
What happened?
I hit the mute button.
Oh, well, it's not recording on the video now, is it?
No, it is.
Oh, okay. The audio?
It's still recording on the audio. I don't. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if something happens here. So as long as we keep talking, it'll keep recording.
Okay.
I was just doing it for the Discord. That way you didn't hear any sounds when I like. Yeah. Anyways.
I just rationalized it as he was like using the crazy story up front to be like, you don't know that I'm looking at your tits because what I'm saying is wild. Like it was an illusion he was trying to create.
I believe it.
The illusion was not that well though.
No,
like we knew what you were doing, my dude.
He was fun. He was a fun guy.
I guess.
Yeah. There was like, I wish I remembered all the details, but he got like shoved in a trunk and driven cross country or something. It was great.
I mean,
it might have happened. Who knows?
You get to see.
Do you still believe in witches?
I don't know. That one I'm kind of on the fence about. I mean,
I believe in people who believe in it, but I don't think like they actually have like any powers.
See, okay, so like the only experience I have with witches, and I haven't done like a lot of like research, is so one of my family members when I was growing up and when my mom was growing up convinced us, I'm still a little bit convinced, I'm not gonna lie, that she was a witch.
Wow.
And she didn't do anything like, I guess that would be like to prove to us. She just told us she was, and we believed her because
was she always like stewing like frog's legs and like bat's wings in a big cauldron?
I mean, not that I saw, but I wouldn't put it past her.
Why do you have to put it so stereotypical?
That's me.
Well, and
why do you have to be so fucking awkward, bud?
The other thing that I saw recently was I watched a Vice YouTube video on witches in Romania.
Oh, I watched that too.
Yeah.
That was great.
And I'm like, are they just like conning people?
Yes.
Out of money, and they're not real witches? Because that's kind of the vibe I got, and that's kind of the vibe I got from the person interviewing them. That she thought that too. That she was like, they might be kind of like full of shit, but like if they aren't, like I'm not gonna talk bad about them, which I get.
I think the majority of them are con artists, and maybe some of them are actually like intuitive in some way. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that like I think that a lot of people just like pretend for that. And one of the things in that video, like they said at the end, that really like got me was her saying like, or maybe it was a different video on Vice that I watched, but I've been watching a lot of them. But they said something about how people just need something to believe in, and everybody's just looking for their own thing to believe in. So some people have religion, and some people have I don't know, whatever else, and some people believe in witches, and like they use that fear of their power to like take advantage of people, and that's really what it is. It's not that they actually like have powers, but I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
I am like, my belief with the whole witches and like everything is that we have disconnected ourselves so much from like life and kind of energy with like technology that's why that it's not a thing anymore. I think that it, like maybe like 300 to 400 years ago, like it definitely could have been a thing because people were more grounded in a sense, like quote unquote like grounded, and that I think that could have been a thing, especially like spiritually, especially when you look back on Native American culture and shit like that. So I think that like back then that potentially people could have had powers and been able to talk to like spirits and shit like that, but we've become so disconnected with that lifestyle, especially living so comfortably, you know, like when you go back that far, we're talking about like people living in, tents and shit out in wilderness, and you're connected with the earth, and, you live to help yourself survive, but it's not in the way that we do now, so you're more like grounded with the earth and with spirits and shit like that. But I think that now it's just not a thing because we're so disconnected.
I think for me, it's probably like a mix of that and like just historical like knowledge. So like people back then didn't have as much information and it wasn't as easily accessible. So like living off the land, there was people who figured shit out sooner than others. And you could essentially do things that were like, or you could convince people of like mythical and magical things way easier.
Yeah.
And if you're a good leader and could talk well, like you could tell people anything and they'd have to believe you type thing.
Yeah.
So like it was a mix of that and then also like just knowledge of the earth and nature to a greater degree. Like people still tell stories to this day when they go on like trips to the Amazon and like visiting pygmies in Africa and stuff like that, where like they just have a better sense of the forest and like will watch out for venomous things, poisonous insects and shit like that. And like they just know things intuitively because they were there their whole lives, that like somebody who's just visiting is like, oh shit, I didn't even see that. Now I have fucking malaria. Like,
do you remember that show on the Discovery Channel that was like the dude that lived in like Oregon or something like that, or Washington, that like lived in like the forest out there? I can't remember what that fucking show was.
I remember what you're
like
talking about, but I never watched
bearded
it.
dude,
Yeah.
And one thing that I took from his fucking show that I specifically remember because it like I felt that was he was talking about how like when you look at the forest, you see the paths. Like when you really start to get into the forest and shit like that, he's like you start to see the paths that like the animals take. He's like you see the flow of the forest, and I feel that like when I go into the woods and I like look at the forest and shit like that, I've already felt that like I kind of like feel like I see the paths that the animals take. That is the path, like not less traveled, but more traveled by the animals. That's the easiest, that I'll be able to find my way because of that. And like he's like, that's something you learn. And I was like, I feel like I already have that. That's just like a natural thing that I have. So I was like, oh, okay, like I got that. What up,
I have that same skill, but like concerts.
Hey, but that too though.
Festival vibes.
That too though. Like seriously, if you want to get to the front, I got you. We'll fucking.
There are
there.
some people who just like can just
Yeah.
and then me, I'm just like, please help.
Like,
Yeah.
no,
Well, I've just like had to.
Yeah.
Well, mostly because I went to a lot of concerts in high school, and I would always get like overheated and like need to puke. So I would have to get out of the crowd, and then I need to get back in the crowd, and I would always want to find my friends, obviously. So, because we'd be going to like in mosh pits and shit, so it would just be like too much for me to handle sometimes.
It's like Mean Girls, where she's like, it's like a jungle, and like these are all like animals, and like you can see the patterns. It's all the same. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right.
Let's get into these fucking TikToks. All right, so this first one is your wife's, right? This is Crystal's?
I've seen this.
I think I have seen this too. Yeah, for sure. So we'll hop into this. Let me make sure that it... Oh, it did. TikTok. Hell yeah. Get into that section. So we'll see how this is. I think the volume's going to be okay. We'll see.
Okay.
Don't tase me. That shit stings. My safe word is pineapple juice.
Bring your ankles up to your butt.
Swap man, what's my safe word?
Bring your ankles up to your butt.
That's how far I go. You think I'm in a Pilates? Ah! Ah! What you doing? Ooh, oh, that's cute. Oh, watch your hands, boy. Don't do that. That's my lighter. It don't work. Don't do drugs, kids. Those are my quarters. You want to put those in your pocket? That is change. You know how long it took me to acquire those? Some of those are limited edition. Well, that's my flash drive. Unless you want to see Big D. That's my wallet. You have no.
He said,
ooh. He's strong.
He's strong.
Every strong man got a sensitive side. You like doing the weird shit? What's your safe word? Ooh, you need help? I'll hold my boot for you. Hey, real talk though, in my car.
I like how he was like, hey, real talk though, in my car. What was in his car though? I really want to know what the fuck was in that dude's car.
Yeah. To be continued.
I guess.
Question mark?
Yeah. Oh shit, I'm all the way over here.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
That was the one my wife sent?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Heck
babe.
yeah. It's funny.
All right, so this is the one that I have for this.
Many married couples have a specified amount that they can spend without having to discuss it with their partner. For instance, mine is about $50. My spouse's is about $596.23. Apparently.
Are you saying that
That
you're
I'd-
her?
No.
Oh. See, I heard that that's the exact amount that a PS5 in taxes.
Oh. Well, I didn't buy a PS5. I can tell you that much. You should. Well, you already know that.
I
Like,
interpreted it as he buys gaming shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
that's
no,
you.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. She is you, and I am.
I am
her
he.
spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Her spouse.
I
We
am
don't-
he.
Her spouse.
My grandma taught me to answer the phone when somebody's like, "Can I speak to Wesley?" And I'm like, "This is he."
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's the proper way to do it.
But is that not acceptable anymore?
Why?
I
I thought we were going into like gender norms now. Where,
Well,
like,
you can
don't
use your
specify.
own, pick your own pronoun, man.
It would be kind of fun to answer the phone as "this is they."
This is they.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
okay.
speaking.
But
Speaking works too.
But this goes into the bio thing, like the social media bio thing that you were talking about the other day, where you were like, more people, or that like you were talking about us specifically should put like gender neutral kind of like pronouns in our bio because it helps other people not.
Why would we put gender neutral pronouns in our bio if those aren't the pronouns that we use?
Oh, you were talking about the wife and husband thing.
Yeah, saying partner. To
Okay,
normalize it?
That's why because I was going off of her saying spouse. Like, she said spouse. She didn't specify, like, my husband or my wife. Like, she just
Yeah.
said my spouse. So, like, is it...
You can say
which
this
are
is
two
he
different
on the
things.
phone. I don't think it's that
Okay, yeah,
serious.
no, that's two different
I still
things.
say my
No,
wife too
because,
all
no,
the time. My
And
wife.
yeah, and he says
Yeah.
my wife, and I was just saying like that is something that people are choosing to do now to normalize it to help it be less of a.
No, I see how those,
think
like,
that's-
answering the phone and being like, this is he. For me, like, I'm specifying my, like, my pronouns. Whereas, like, when I'm specifying my spouse or my significant other, like, those are, like, two different things that, like, I realize that now that what
Okay.
I was, like, getting at was.
I think that's where I'm at with like the whole movement, except for like the more ridiculous shit. But the people get mad at like the pronoun game that they think is being played is like, well, I mean, if people want to identify that way, then as long as they're not dicks about it, because you don't know. Like if I called you she and you were identifying as they, and I didn't know, you hadn't told me, then it's like, well, sorry, that was my fault. And as long as I'm not a dick and you're not a dick, then we can move on from it. Then I'll just call you that from. So like the people who are mad
That
about
was-
it, I'm like, I do not understand why you're so pissed off.
That was
Yeah.
literally my argument the
Yeah.
whole time.
Well,
Was like,
Theoretically, you meet somebody new, they probably will share their pronouns,
Hopefully,
right?
yeah.
If they
That's what I'm saying. Is like the people who are mad at the whole movement of like, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm not gonna say they. It's like, well, how often is this affecting you? And like, why are you mad? Because like,
yeah.
it's not, the scenario of people are gonna get mad at you for not using their correct pronouns probably isn't gonna happen to most people. It's like you're gonna run into a few whacked out people that are gonna be angry for no reason in your life. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like turning into this giant debate of both sides. Like you're missing the point. People just want to be called what makes them feel comfortable.
People just want to live their truth, man.
Yeah.
Just let them do it. It's not hurting you. It's a pronoun.
yeah,
It's
seriously.
just helping them be happy, or
Apollo.
whoever. I mean,
Would that be like?
Take note, Apollo.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this.
Would that be like vindictive?
Yeah.
Basically, is like you're being vindictive. If you like meet somebody new and you find an issue with like calling them by their specific pronouns, whether it's he, she, they, them.
at that point, if I meet somebody new and I say hey, or they say hey, my pronouns he, him, and I decide, oh well, you are more like feminine presenting, so you look like you should use she, her pronouns. That pisses me off. At that point, I guess it should be like, okay, we're not going to be friends, like, because I don't like that, and that's what it should be. Like, you should just respect that. That's how, like, those are the pronouns that they have given you that they want to be called, and either respect that and do that, or just don't have them in your life. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but like what Wes said, how much of that is taking out of your life? Like, regardless of whether you agree with it or not, like,
oh, it's not taking anything out of your life. It's like a 1% adjustment, and it's really not that big of a deal, because
no, that's what
how many times do we not know the gender of somebody, and so you use they because you don't know, like,
yeah,
Well,
like, oh, the doctor called, oh, what did they say, like, because you don't know if that doctor
is a man or a woman.
Yeah,
or,
we
like,
already do that in some forms of conversation.
yeah, just
or
like normalize it.
velociraptor. Like, for all you know, your surgeon could have been a velociraptor. I mean, fuck, dude.
Raptor
But-
princess.
I'm taking it extreme here, but like,
Well,
but seriously though,
did you guys, so like an extreme example of this, and like where I don't like playing the game with people is Ellen Page came out as male,
yeah,
and there was a small section of the trans male community that came out and were mad at her because she's female passing. So I don't get the rift there, like, because like I'm not a part of the community, but like, because she's beautiful, there were people in the trans male community who were like, or even the trans female community, just a small percentage, but loud enough online that it was like there was a news article written about it. Like, here's the opposing side to Ellen Page coming out as trans now. And for me, it was like, well, now we're just playing a game of who's like more marginalized. Like, we're playing the game of like, I'm on this level and you're below me and you can't say these things to me. And to a certain extent, like, I'm on the same page, but now we're just like, we're playing the privilege game.
who the fuck cares? that
Exactly,
much?
yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
like, who the fuck cares?
I don't want to play that game with people.
No,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if that's what you identify as. Then cool. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
I will
again,
call
we're
her.
not.
I will call him Elliot Page now.
We are not in that community either, so we don't know the social stigma of those norms. I
Yeah.
guess, like, and
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to come at you guys.
No, it's
But,
okay.
like, few small corrections. Like, he's come out now, so we should just use
He's
Elliot.
come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Not-
that's what I said.
and
I'll
don't,
call
like-
him Elliot Page.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
now
Just
on.
like, I don't know. Like, a lot of people get really offended when you use their dead name.
Yeah.
Like, that's just that.
Well, the
that's-
articles just came
that's
out.
that.
Ellen Page became Elliot Page.
Yeah.
So that's informational.
A lot of the ones that I saw actually weren't like that. They were, Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Well,
that's good. Yeah.
He is a trans man. He is
Yeah.
that's who he is. And which is awesome. I did see a post about
I think. Sorry to interrupt. I think my only issue with that is just for people who don't know who like Ellen Page was and who
Gotcha.
Elliot Page is.
Yeah,
is like,
I agree
yeah.
with you. Like, because that's how it was for me at first, and then
Yeah.
people kind of explained to me that, like, you could easily be like
Formerly known as?
the actor who the main actor, the one who played Juno in
Yeah.
the movie Juno, or
Actually, that's how I saw it referenced as well in a few
yeah,
articles.
yeah. There's a lot of ways
yeah.
I feel like you can reference somebody without using their the name that they don't like identify
Yeah.
as. But and then also, like, identify as is also kind of problematic as well, because it's not like what you're choosing to identify as. It's like that's who you are. Like, those are your pronouns. That is your name. Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there has been some kickback in, like, the lesbian community as well. There's I'm not 100% on her pronouns, but I'm pretty sure that she identifies as a she. She's a lesbian. She makes YouTube videos, and anybody who watches, like, lesbians on YouTube or, like, the queer, like, community on YouTube probably knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But she made a video saying, "Oh, well, we lost another lesbian," and so people are, like, really upset with her about that, because it's like, okay, so, like, you want somebody to, like, stay in the closet and not
Yeah.
live their life and be happy so you can have another lesbian in like the big lesbian group or whatever it is. So
I think a lot of my issue is the outrage, though. So, like, what you did there with the correction is like, well, I'm not a part of the community. I'm outside of it, and I'm just reading what I can. And obviously, like, I'm on board with the whole movement, and I support all of that. But for somebody outside, it's like I'm not aware of all the parts and the correct phrasing. So when somebody uses the wrong name, or they say the wrong thing, or like when you get as deep as the lesbian community is now mad at Elliot Page for this, it's like, well, I don't understand why, and the outrage is the issue that I have because not everybody's on the same page about Elliot Page. Forgive the pun. I saw it and was like, well, I have to do it. But so
I opened that door.
I think like being able to have the rational conversation without like just getting mad at people and shouting at them on Twitter, like
it is really bad on Twitter.
Yeah.
I see that a lot and I'm like, because I'm a part of the freaking LGBT community,
Yeah.
and I sometimes feel like really intimidated. I'm like, I don't know everything. I mean, I'm learning every single day new things on TikTok about things that are actually not okay to say and do, and I'm learning every day too. And so like that's what I'm trying to do is just keep educating people as I find out on these things, because I'm not out here to offend people, and I'm trying to help people also.
well, it's
like
tough as a victim to be the one to have to educate everybody else because you're like, well, you guys are putting me through all this shit. This is the whole reason like we're trying to start the movement in the first place, and you want me to explain to you why we're taking all these baby steps in the correct direction.
Okay, but my whole point is that like regardless of anybody that's in the LGBTQ, like you
IA
know,
plus.
huh?
IA plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're in that community and you are outraged at somebody else for going whichever direction they decide to go, like aren't you a part of the problem though? Because the main thing with that is that you want to be accepted for who you are, and then you're getting mad and being outraged at somebody for doing like what they, regardless of what spectrum that you are on, you know, like you're being mad at somebody else for doing what they feel is right in their life, and then saying like the lesbian community being like, oh, well, we lost another lesbian, or even, you know, like what you were saying where it's like, well, I perceive you, you know, as a woman, so like that type of shit. And I'm like,
Well, because man. See, I'm still getting used to it because it's so new.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But he was a presenting beautiful female. Like a lot of people saw that image as like that's a famous Hollywood actor who's very beautiful, and then so she had that privilege at the time as that person that she was presenting as at the time. So like that's a form of privilege that people were mad about in a community that I don't fully understand, and I want to understand. So the part that made me confused was the anger. Like just getting outright mad at somebody and just shouting hatred at them is like, well, that seems the opposite of what the whole goal is.
Yeah.
Like you want people to be more accepting, and being mad isn't accepting.
but it
Like,
sounds like, from my perspective, it sounds like he just didn't necessarily know or didn't feel necessarily comfortable about coming out about it.
yeah,
You know,
now's the time to do it. You know,
up until this point,
it's a good year.
which is fine
It's a terrible
for
year. But
him
yeah.
to do that. Like
Yeah.
if that is what, you know, if this is your time to finally feel like, okay, I feel like I'm comfortable enough for me to really express who I am without necessarily getting, you know, especially being an actor, you know, and living the life that he lived before,
Yeah.
and his past and shit, like what he's been through, like, you know, having to blend in with the social norms that we already have, and having to put how he really feels in the closet, basically. Like this is him coming out of the closet, basically.
Yeah.
So like having
Literally.
to put literally, yeah. So having to put all of that behind him, knowing that this is how he feels throughout his life, and then, you know, now he's finally coming out, and then people coming at him about it, and
Yeah.
you're like, but didn't a lot of people in this community have had to do the same thing, and you've been
I thought we
supportive
were all
of,
trying to be who we are.
and
So-
being supportive of that. So why are people coming at, you know, Elliot Page for this shit? I don't get it.
So two things. One thing is I think that when it comes to people being like attacky on the internet at people, like misgendering or just being like not like politically correct or like whatever it
Yeah.
is. I think that a lot of that, in my opinion, comes from a place of like defensiveness because there are so many people who are purposely like misgendering and just not just they don't want to learn and they don't want to understand. They're just doing it to be hateful. In your situation, that's not you. Like
Yeah.
you just don't know because you didn't have to know, and you're just not a part of that community.
I'm just
and,
interested.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. And in that situation, I would hope that people would be a lot more understanding with you as long as you're willing to like learn and like and change as you learn. And
I've never had any personal attacks, thankfully. I just get confused at the people on the internet. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Well, and then that's the other thing I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about. It is seriously like a ginormous issue in the like the LGBTQIA plus community. Like for people to hate on other people.
Aren't we all on the same team?
No.
No?
No.
I guess
Okay.
not. I thought we were. I
Because-
guess not.
There, it's so much. It's cis, gay men, white men, hating on, thinking that they're still the best.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I'm gonna generalize a little bit, and I don't mean
I was
like
going to call you out on it, too.
yeah, no, not all of them.
I was like, it's my
but,
turn.
But in general, like a lot of them, you know, a lot of gay clubs, even like, I mean, I don't know. I've not been to a ton of gay clubs, but I want to say even to this day, like even currently, like they're not as inclusive
Yeah.
as they like you'd think that they would be, or as they would maybe act like they are. There's a lot of, you know, like queer like spaces where they, you know, either don't want people of color or will not necessarily say that, but it's like the dress code thing.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna let white gay guys come in there wearing like nothing, but then like if a person of color, a black person wants to come in there wearing I don't know, baggy pants or whatever, like they have specific rules against things that are typically things that like minority people
Yeah.
would wear, like whatever, like. So there's that. There's like the racism aspect. Plus, like even now, I mean, trans people, like they're getting murdered like at a way higher rate than just like gay people are. And like and there are a lot of gay men who don't want to be with trans men. And there are a lot of lesbians who say that they don't want to be with a trans woman because, you know, they don't think that they're actually a woman. It's a lot of like an issue with like trans people being accepted. And then on top of that, there's also the whole issue of a lot of like bisexual women find, and probably bisexual men as well, I don't know, but a lot of bisexual women like find that they have an issue with like lesbians don't like dating bisexual women because they have that constant fear of you can't make up your mind.
Yeah.
That's what bisexual people do. Like they can't make up their mind. They're selfish. They can't pick between men and women and who they want. So they're, you know, I've been in a lot of a few relationships with people where they're, you know, I think that you're going to leave me for a man. Like, and I have to explain like that's not what it is. But so then there's that whole thing as well. So there is a lot of
You are married
like
to a man now, so there is that.
I
But you didn't
still-
leave them for me.
No,
either,
and I
so-
still love women just as much.
Yeah. No, I'm afraid that
So-
you're gonna leave me for a woman. Honestly,
See,
that is
To
that
all
is
my
the fear.
exes out there that thought I was gonna leave them for a man,
I'm
It's
scared
not-
that she's gonna leave
No.
me for a woman.
Same thing
Like,
with same thing with
this
my
isn't
life.
helping the
Yeah.
case. I guess really for
Yeah.
bisexuals
No, not at
out
all.
there.
Yeah. No, I think my question with, because I fully get all that. Like, well, I don't get the infighting, obviously, but I've seen it because I listen to all sides on. So like, I'll listen to the extreme far left where there's ideas and infighting where I'm like, y'all guys are just like you're hypocrites at
You're
this
on your
point.
own fucking level at this point.
Well,
dude.
it's hypocritical to be taking the movement and pointing it back at the people who are on the same side as you. And then I also listen to the far right side of it, and I also listen to people who are just like regular everyday, like comedians who just like their day job as a comedian. I listen to a lot of podcasts that are like that, and they'll make jokes of like the ultimate privilege card to play is being a black woman trans person that has one arm or some shit like. And obviously, incredibly offensive for people in the community. But for people who are just like, they work a day job, they know nothing about this, they don't pay attention to Twitter, they laugh at that type of shit. And like, if you're not a part of the community and you're not triggered by it, you're also going to laugh at that type of shit. And they make money off of that.
But if you
So,
are,
like,
then you know that like that is like the highest like percentage of
Yes.
people to be murdered. Like
yeah.
black,
Well, but-
trans.
So my question is like the people who are making these jokes and like getting in trouble for it online and getting like all the hate yelled at them about like they just don't know, and I think a lot of them are actually reasonable people and they make their money off of like being mainstream and funny. So they're trying
Yeah.
to like aim for what most people, and we're talking about in general a minority of all the, especially when you get down to like specific tiny groups of like these people who are fighting with each other. So if we could just have more conversations like this instead of just yelling at each other all the time, I'd be way happier. Because like you could explain to that guy who makes $100 a night doing offensive stand up, but for people who don't know, they laugh at that type of shit,
Mhm.
and that's what makes them their money. You could have a conversation with that person and they would get it, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to hate them.
Right.
Yeah.
And just explain to them like, look, like you think that's funny and like that's cool, but then like you're turning that person or that group of people into a joke.
Yeah.
So now they're not going to be looked at by other people as like a person. They're going to be looked at as a joke, and then they're going to be bullied or
I'd like to get to a point in society where we can have like humorous conversations about all things and not
Mhm.
like be offensive about, like, I'd like to, like, the type of conversations we have where we're all on the same page. I wish everybody could just, I know that's never going to happen, but like
I know.
if we could just like not be so sensitive, and I get why some people are, because they went through a bunch of shit for
Mhm.
decades and hundreds of years in some cases. So like I just want to be able to talk about this stuff without being irrational. It drives me nuts.
So my issue, or not an issue, but my thought on all this is, I guess, preference. When you were saying
Yeah,
like
That's a whole nother side of
like
it too.
like a lesbian doesn't want to be with a trans woman. Like
Is that because they're grossed out by trans people or hateful towards them, or is that because they just don't like it?
and
like
and that
preferentially.
and is that okay or not? Like is my
Well,
question.
that
I
kind of
guess.
relates a little bit to a TikTok that I have.
Yeah.
So a little bit. I think yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we could pause on this and come back to it, because I think that might.
Answer some of my questions.
I don't know if it will necessarily answer some of your questions. It might, but it'll give you a little bit of context.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Because
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I have a certain preference with like who I'm attracted to, you know, and like, I guess, you know, if a lesbian person found a trans woman to be attractive, and then you find out that they are a trans woman, like, and then all of a sudden you're not, you know, attracted to them, is that kind of like, that's just on you? Like, it's not on the person and
think
their
it's-
choices?
I
and
think
like,
you're allowed to have a preference. Like I think you're allowed to be attracted to vaginas and not be attracted to penises, or you have a preference for vaginas over penises, like, and that's like, I think that's okay. Like I don't think you can help that. I mean, that's, you can't help what who you're sexually
we're
attracted
talking about
to.
a trans woman, like post-op, you know, like, so in that sense, where
Well, if you like women, and then you should just like women regardless of, like, I guess, I don't know.
I think it's the blanket statements that are the problem, where you're like,
Mhm.
I will never date a trans woman or a trans man.
like, why is that though?
Yeah.
okay, see, this is
Yeah.
this
Is it
is what I
because
was
they're
bringing up,
trans,
yeah.
or is it because then you can't say that, and then that's
you might
not
meet a trans person that you're attracted to, and then you're
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I was saying. Where it's like, you know, you're saying where the statement that you said was that like lesbians are saying that they wouldn't be, certain lesbians would say that they wouldn't be with a trans woman, and you're like, okay, but are you making like a blanket statement
Yeah,
here?
I think that sexuality is on such like a big spectrum that's not. I don't think it's fair to yourself to put yourself in that box to say I'm only gonna be with this type of person or this gender or whatever. Even if like, even those people who are like, I only date black guys, or I only date white girls, or I only date within my race or out of my race or whatever, that's totally fine. Like you can decide to do whatever you're gonna do, but I think that you shouldn't put yourself in a box like that. And granted, like, people have their reasoning, like, and I've seen a lot of people talk about that, like, Like, why do they prefer to be like, there are some women who prefer to be with black men over white men because they feel like black men appreciate their body a little bit more, that white men prefer skinnier women. And that's their experience. And a lot of women aren't going to have that same experience. Like, that's fine. I understand that reasoning. Like, but if you're saying, oh, I only like black men because they have big dicks or because I like their big lips, then that's when it becomes problematic.
No, I agree with that 100%.
An extreme case that's actually pretty common, so it's not an extreme, but like religious people, where like there's the whole matter of respecting faith, but then also being like, how far do you take that line into being hateful? Where like Christians who hate gays, and it's like, well, there's faith-based information that you could base and believe in, but you don't have to take it as far as hate. So like there might be a Christian out there who is accepting and loving of gay people or transgendered people, but would never date them for religious-based reasons. And
I deal with this a lot in my line of work. Honestly, I do. Because a lot of like the people that I work with are like your blue-collared like Christian, like based, kind of people that like they like literally this dude said, he was like, I don't know what I would do if my foreman was gay.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, you do your fucking job and listen to your foreman regardless of what his fucking sexuality is or how like flamboyant he is or whatever the fuck or she, like regardless, like you're going to listen to them because they're your fucking boss.
Is that because the Bible tells him to feel that?
Yes.
Or does he have a hateful reason behind it?
No, it's well,
is he using the Bible as a shield?
It's a little bit of both. I think so. I think it's a little bit of both. I think he's grown up because of the Bible, and that's given him a little bit of that hateful
Maybe his
side.
parents were a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Like this is the same dude that told me that like I should, or I was saying that like, I'm not a Christian or whatever, and like, oh, I've lived, like the life that I've lived, and he was like, well, maybe you should read the Bible. And literally the dude that I like, that is also somebody who's a born again Christian, like, and I've talked to him a lot about like his religion and like my side of like things and everything. He turned to him and was like, he has read the Bible.
Yeah.
Because I have. Like, I went to home church. Like, I went to church when I was fucking younger. Like, I've done my fucking research on shit. I have read the Bible. Like, that's why I don't, that's not the side of me. Like, I don't agree with it. I get the morals in the story. I took what the morals were from that and kind of applied that to my own life. But that side of, like, a religion thing is not for me because I've done my research on it. And, like, that dude literally, like, told him, was like, no, he has read the Bible. So, like... But he basically was like, well, maybe you should read the Bible. And I was like, I was this close to going off of him. I'm lucky that, the other person that I work with that I've talked to a lot more about it was like, no, he has. Like, So
people need to be more okay with being wrong is what it is. Or like,
I think that too. Yeah.
Because like, a lot of the religion thing is people just being sure of themselves. Where like in certain versions of the Bible, it says a man shall not lay with another man; it's punishable by death. But that
Unless
depends.
he's high.
Which is actually, from what I think I know, so don't quote me on this. That is in the New Testament.
Yes.
With the Old Testament, it is a man shall not lay with a child.
Yeah. So the whole history there, if you're an open and understanding person who takes the time to do research, if you care to, is that was rewritten by a king, and it was for like societal and historical reasons at the time that they were trying to enforce a belief on their population to keep society the way they wanted it, and that's why that's part of the Bible. But like then there's people who would now use that as a shield against the whole movement, and that's where I'm at, where it's like we need to be able to have that conversation then.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right. Let's slow this all down here.
Okay.
I love the conversation.
That was
but
cool.
We do need to keep going here.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we had that long conversation.
I'm not ever starting off this podcast ever again because it got way too intense.
That was
We
fun.
started off way too high, so it had to hit that.
It was fun.
So we're going to get into some skate talk here.
Okay.
I wanted to show you this because I knew you would appreciate it, and you saw it on your phone, and you were like,
Oh, no. I've been glancing at it the whole time.
So I'm gonna show it to you now because I specifically pulled this TikTok. I think this is like the only TikTok that I have. I think
Okay.
I have maybe one more, but this is for you.
Okay.
Like specifically because I knew that you would fucking enjoy it. Yeah. Thank you,
You
babe.
sound like you're gonna poop yourself.
This is fucking for you, Wes. This
Okay.
is 100% for you. If I can figure
Well, I'm
it
not
out.
even gonna look.
Aw. He ollie-ooped into it. That was sexy.
Ollie ooped into that shit, dude. I was like,
oh.
I immediately thought of you when I saw that shit. I was like, oh my fucking god.
That was sexy.
I was like, that was hot as
Can
fuck.
I actually see that again?
Do you want to see it
I wanna
again,
see it
dude? I'm
again.
more than happy to show it to you.
So
again, dude.
before I called it before, but I didn't
You
know.
did.
I knew he
You
was gonna
did.
ollie into it, but I didn't realize he was gonna ollie oop.
Ollie oop into
Yeah.
it, yeah, this shit's fucking dope,
He
dude.
shooped a whooped. Oh shit! That's too.
And you can hear how
Damn.
hype everybody else is too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, like, yeah, dude.
It's such a. It's an incline to land on too. Like
Whew,
that's got some verticality to
that
it.
shit was crazy, dude. This shit had me going.
I love a good skate talk.
Hey, me too, man. All right, so we're getting into my wife's TikToks here.
Yeah,
Yay!
Yee.
it's for you guys.
Yeah, Cobra 19's made it inconvenient for everybody. Just strumming the old guitar. How's your buddy Garrett Simpson's doing? Oh, it's Simpson? Why did I think it was Simpsons? Yeah, we need to get more Christmas stuff from Target. Need a pack of moose turd. What? That used to always make you guys laugh. Ooh, hon, you want a little champagne? Working on the muscles, Timmy. It's like talking to a blank wall. What do you guys think? Maybe McCallahan's for dinner tonight? McAllister's? When did they change their name?
No, that's true.
Dad things.
Yeah.
That's just dad things right there.
I say
dog.
muscles all the time.
You say muscles? I say muscles sometime. I'm working on my muscles.
Getting pretty muscular.
I'm getting pretty muscular.
Muscular.
All right.
All pans are bi, but not all bis are pan. I'm gonna try to break it down so you can finally understand. The modern definition of bi is more inclusive, but the term was first coined when gender was more elusive. You see, the binary got us fucked. It sucks. Bisexual was just supposed to mean more than one, but with the root of the word meaning two or both, it kind of felt like we were excluding some folk. So we started rolling out with pan, and it helped a lot of theys know where we stand. Pansexuals don't think of gender as a factor. Bisexuals might find that it matters. If you only have a thing for she or theys, hey, that's being bi in a non-pan way, and that's okay. Your sexuality's yours. Labels are just labels. It's a courtesy chore.
Okay, so no, see if people were like that, I would be willing to have the conversation all the time.
This is why
Yeah.
I think that I say that I am bi,
Yeah.
because I have a preference, like in a sense. Like I have a really hard time finding like guys that I like or men, that I like, because I like, you have to come off to me as somebody that I like. Like I don't care about what you got downstairs. It's more about like how you come off to me. But I am more attracted to women. Like I do like men, but I am more attracted to women for sure. So like that's why I say I'm bi. If I was pan, it would be like I don't really care. But but then again, I don't know, because like
See, I don't know either. Don't ask me. I'm still
men
figuring
come
it out for
off as
myself.
fucking douchey to me all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like I cannot take it. Like seriously, men just seem as fucking douches to me most
I
of the time.
agree with that.
Like,
That's why I'm not attracted to men, because for a long time, people like will shit on the idea, like especially right wing or conservative people be like toxic masculinity is bullshit. I'm like, no, like I've been treated like shit for being a slightly feminine presenting male like my whole life. Like just because I have emotions, I get called female, and it's like that's all by men. Like,
I am afraid one of the big things about like my anxiety and shit and having panic attacks is just having a panic attack, because I know that the men, if I were to have a panic
It's
attack
seen
around
as
the men,
weak.
it's seen as weak.
Yep.
And that's a toxic
That's
fucking
been a
masculinity
problem
shit.
my whole
Yeah.
since I was a teenager. It's just like a constant fear that people are gonna judge me for having
Emotions, bro.
mental problems.
Just
Yeah.
regular fucking emotions,
Yeah.
like, yeah. No, I feel it 100%. Yeah.
The The people who get mad at like when I see that video, I smile, and the people who get mad at that, I also like. It's the same like the infighting in these tiny groups. I'm like, I don't get you, and then the people who see that and are like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, well, it's pretty reasonable. Like they're not asking much. It's just
And it's
like
catchy.
and she's like just explaining. Like I,
It's not much though.
No,
Like,
it's not.
literally, it's not much.
that was easy.
This is my whole thing where like people who are like against like fully against like gay or the whole LGBTQ AI plus like community like in general, and they're like, you know, I just hate all of it. I'm like, what does it do to you though, like in reality? Like,
No,
do you just like, I understand if, you know, maybe somebody comes and hits on you and you're like, oh, you know, I don't like go that way. Most of the time they're gonna be like, oh, my bad, you know, it's cool.
You should be flattered.
And yeah, no, you should be flattered. Yeah. Somebody even of the same gender finds you fucking attractive.
It's
Like,
like
you should
the
be flattered. But no.
Conversation we had about like, do you care if people are jacking off to you? It's like that's a compliment.
Yeah.
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 I
No,
mean,
I don't understand why people are so offended or about what other people do too. Like, it's not even like somebody's hitting on them. It's what other people are doing in their own lives. It has nothing to do with them. And they're like, no, that's wrong. I should be upset about that. I'm like, what the fuck?
And it's always these dudes that like don't wipe their ass all the way. They're like, as long as they don't hit on me, like nobody wants to hit on you. You're ugly and you stink. And you have a bad attitude.
You ass me stinking.
Like,
Dudes, that's
Jeez.
such a perfect picture of so many guys that I work with. Where I'm like, you don't wipe your ass all the way. That's why you're like this.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
sometimes you just throw your underwears away because they're poopy.
Oh, I had a grandfather like that, where like I would see the laundry and I'm like, no, is this the clean basket? Because that's got fucking racetracks through it, like
Skid marks.
Yeah.
Skid marks all the way through it,
You
dude.
got
Like,
leaky asshole, bro.
it's normal to have like discharge causes like your underwear to be slightly bleached.
Yeah.
Normal. Period, like blood stain, normal.
Yeah.
You're learning your potty training. You have something going on in your body to where it's hard for you to hold in your poop or like whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But if you're a shitty fucking asshole ass dude who just doesn't take the time to wipe their asshole, fuck you. That's gross.
Wipe your assholes, dudes.
Anybody else is fine. Buy the flushable wipes.
Yeah,
we have
get a bidet.
I have seen a
Yeah.
TikTok where it was like one of the things that guys deal with, and I think that you'll relate to this. Is that we have the unlimited wipe, where you can wipe as much as you want, but it's like there's still shit on the toilet paper.
You're not special.
No, I
You
was
just
gonna
sit there
say.
till it's gone.
Yeah.
Happens
Okay.
to women too.
Yeah.
Your men's buttholes are
But
not
I've-
different
but
from
I-
women's
but
buttholes.
I hear that a lot with
hold on.
women who have gone through
hear-
pregnancy too, where like
hear me out,
everything's
though.
just loose down there.
Hear me out though.
Yeah.
That since starting to shave my asshole, it's been less and less. So I think that the hair, if you have a hairy asshole, you're gonna deal with that more often.
No.
But having less hair down there kind of helps me out, and that was one of the reasons why I do shave my ass. Was because I would get fucking dingleberries all the time, and I'd go and take a shower and be like cleaning my ass, and then, you know, find these fucking dingleberries, and I'm like, I wiped my ass until it was clean, you know, from the toilet paper, but then still fucking find dingleberries because of the hair on my fucking ass. I got a hairy ass. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, no.
I can't, I can't help that.
The only times in my adulthood where I've had the like you take a shit and then you wipe and then there's nothing there is after I've shaved my ass because it was just like clean exit. Like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
All right, this next one is just cool.
Sponsored by Manscaped 3.0.
I want, I'm still really sad about that.
And
I'm
Hello
still-
Tushy.
I'm still so sad about that I bought the 2.0. And then literally like a couple months later, they came out with 3.0. I was like, if I just would have waited.
Use promo code BSFTB to get 20% off.
I wish, dude. That'd be so nice.
You can see if it works. Probably won't.
Try it.
All my life I've been the sidekick, always second place, forgotten quick. For the first time in my life, I think I'll pick to love myself. I think I'm loving it. McDonald's got them golden arches, they go loop-de-loop. Oh, so beautifully arranged so it distracts you from your food. Ha, Ronald isn't the only clown. Our body's taking a big beat down. Yeah, we eat the fries, it makes us feel nice. Gotta do what you do just to get by. I got distracted. Fact is, no one knows my name, but soon they will, cause I'm fantastic. I'm active, adaptive, a little bit attractive. I didn't get good one day, I had to go ahead and practice. Never stop practicing.
Yo,
Nice.
who is this? Who is it?
A dog.
Hey, dog, I'm about to follow her.
Dog.
Seriously,
Right now.
I'm about to pull up my fucking TikTok and follow her right
She gets a
now.
little notification somewhere in the world. Where in the world is a dog? What was I gonna say? Oh, there's an Electric Six song. So if Electric Six is like an older, pretty sure LGBTQIA plus identifying band.
I usually say queer instead of all those Alphabet Mafia. That's the new
Alphabet
thing.
Mafia.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I'm on Twitter too much, so I see all this shit, and I'm just like, I'll take note. But they came out with a new album, and like, I don't know if I haven't been following, but they used to have like an older song that I absolutely love called Dance Commander. Like, people might recognize them from that. But they came out with a song called, I think it's just called McDonald's. And that reminded me of it. Everybody should go listen to that, but it's about how like McDonald's has like made itself this place where everybody, like, if you need a place to go, you just go to McDonald's for food. It's a great song. It's really weird, and it's like really catchy and a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, check them out.
To be honest with you, up until this episode, I guess I forget that like
Hey.
I forget
it
that
for
not
the
everybody
boys.
is gay. At least a little bit. I mean, I
Yeah.
know that not everybody is gay. And I like my mom and my sister and everybody. Well, my sister and
I think even straight people have it like more in them than like even me. Like, I'm curious, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to men in any way, but like there has been times where I'm like, well, I'm genuinely wonder what that's like. And I have somebody that I talk to online who is just like loves dick in a way that I do not understand. But for me, it's like, well, tell me about it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was all about it. He was like, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
It's like, I got it.
Yeah. Shouts out to the Discord.
Yeah. I don't know what his name is currently.
Don't say it.
No?
We're not going to say it. I don't want to out him.
I mean, I think that
I
if
don't know
he's
how. Well,
comfortable-
he's pretty comfortable.
Was it in DMMs or was it in the...
It's a bit of both, but I'll just leave
we'll
it.
call him
Okay.
Keith.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know where the
think
line
that,
is with
I
that.
think that Keith... Well, we should ask him.
I don't know if he
We
wants to
should.
be
Yeah, you
shouted
should
out on the
ask him.
podcast.
Yeah, we should ask him first.
We should
but
ask Keith.
I do think that he would... that he would be comfortable enough. If he's comfortable
Probably.
enough with, like, telling you everything and, like...
Well, I
coming
don't
out
know
about
if he
it,
would
but,
want
like,
our private conversations to be talked about on the
I
podcast.
think that he wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Honestly, I
Well,
think that
I'll ask him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he seems like he's like pretty cool. I've seen some of the conversations, so I seem like he's pretty cool. With,
He's
like,
somebody
being,
that I've
like-
met where like we'll just talk about movies for an hour, and then all of a sudden we're talking about dicks, and I'm like, well, tell me what that's like. It's kind of fun.
I've told you, if you want to know what a dick's like, bruh, just
Yeah.
call me. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it.
I mean, sure, we can have that conversation someday. Teach me about the bees and the bees.
I mean, I'm more than welcome to, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like the same thing where like a woman is gonna know what a woman likes because they have the same thing.
I've heard both sides of that though, where some lesbians that I've talked to have said like that's a myth.
Well, I mean, yeah, because
Maybe I guess it kind of depends on your life too and what's happened in your life. Like,
Well,
what
I mean,
have
you
you
can know-
experienced?
to me, it's kind of like, think of it this way.
Yeah.
You can know how to braid your own hair,
Okay.
right? You can know how to braid your own hair all day, but that's your own hair and you're doing it from your own perspective, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to now go and braid somebody else's hair, it's a little bit of it's a different,
Here's a sexual thing I'm sure I can talk about. I ran into this exact thing with my wife where like I normally when I'm going down on her and I'm using my fingers in conjunction with that, I'm from this angle, like this way. The other night I tried like from the other angle where like I was using my thumb from the opposite. I don't need to do the motion. Sorry, that's real lewd and explicit for the YouTube. Anyway, but I couldn't like get the same effect that I was going for.
I make him flip around because I'm like, it's not gonna happen that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be from that angle. So yeah,
changing perspective literally changed
Yeah.
how effective I was at doing my job in
Yeah.
that moment. So I think it is a matter of like, well, when you're going like this for yourself, it's different than when you're on somebody else.
well, and plus too, everybody's different on what they like and what makes them come. Just like for like guys, I'm assuming it's like some guys like a little bit more of a sloppy blowjob, where maybe other guys want it to be a little bit more like
slow. and
Yeah,
kind of
I
like,
don't know.
You know?
I
Yeah.
blowjob technicalities, but yeah, like I don't know. And then maybe some guys like the tip of their penis is more sensitive than the rest of it, or vice versa.
Or there was
Circumcised
like
versus
that
uncircumcised.
one TikTok that you were talking about where you were like, the dude was saying that once you get like to the balls, like he's like, guys don't feel anything in their balls. and,
yeah,
like, they
guys
don't,
have
like-
been saying that you can't feel anything past the tip.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's a fucking lie,
Which-
dude.
yeah.
That's
That's
a
not true.
straight
Because
lie.
Katie called me and she said that she had asked her boyfriend about it, and I was like, you could have just told me like that you had heard that, because I know for a fact that that's a lie. Because I mean, when you're in a relationship with people, sometimes they ask for specific like things, or the things that they like, and I'm like, it's not just the tip. So
Yeah.
Dude,
Well-
especially when I'm about to come, like, play with my balls, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
please
that's
do.
what I was gonna say.
Whether
like,
it's your hand or your mouth, like, play with my balls anyway.
I don't like them like played with like beforehand as like warming up thing at all. Like don't touch my balls till like I'm ready to come. But it's one of those things where like a lot of the pleasure that I get in sex is from shaft. Like my shaft has feeling in it. Like I don't
see, that's what these guys were saying. And
Yeah. And
but
also like the this is too much information. The slapping of the balls when I'm ready to come.
Oh, no, dude, yes.
That's stimulating. Like, I don't know what dudes are talking
Yeah, yeah, no,
it's not
no, seriously.
you.
Yeah.
It's the gay. It's the gay. I'm like, I don't like balls. They're so gross. I don't
Balls
like
are
touching
hilarious.
them. I don't. It's
No. See, this is the thing though. Like, this is why I feel that she's gonna leave me for a woman. It's
You have balls.
Like the whole thing, dude.
It's just baffling.
The
like
dick and balls. She's not like totally like.
like your friend on the Discord. He's probably like, man, sometimes I just really just want to suck dick.
Yeah.
I have never ever been like, oh, I'm craving some dick in my mouth.
Yeah.
I do it because that's what you do. That's part of the process, right?
Well, giving pleasure is pleasurable, like in a way. Like okay, but we're on a different page. It's fine.
No, well, see, that's one of the things. Like for me and her, it's different.
Yeah.
Because like sucking my dick for her is not pleasurable for her. Like, but
Yeah.
me eating her out is
Yeah.
pleasurable for me.
Yeah.
So like I'll get hard off of that shit. Like
Maybe
I'm gonna
agree
be
with you
like,
there.
oh my god,
Yeah.
like this is turning me the fuck on. Like eating her out. Like I would totally enjoy that shit. So like it's different for people, but.
Yeah.
That's why I feel that she's gonna leave me for a woman, because she's like, I don't, this goes back into that whole thing.
We don't need to get into this right now on this podcast.
I don't mean to like, I don't mean to like. I'm
No.
sorry, but I don't know. It's
Our
not it's not an issue for me, because obviously like we're married.
I
Like
love
you
this.
married me for a reason. Like you still enjoy me, and like I'll never force you to do anything that you don't want to do, and it's not like I'm constantly gonna be like, oh, I want fucking blowjobs or we're gonna get divorced. Like it's not that big of a deal for me. Like I'm a pleasurable person.
Yeah.
What gets me off is pleasuring other people.
I think if you took a poll of like men and women and been like, women, do you enjoy the idea of the penis as much as, or at least straight women, the idea for men, straight men, of the vagina? And I think if like you took a poll of the population of the people who are into those types of things, dicks versus vagina, men are way more into whatever they're into than women are. So like men will go hard for vagina or dick,
But
whatever
I-
they're into.
Or their feet.
Yeah, and women, I'm just as a generalization, like if you took a poll, there'd be less women who are like, I'm all about them genitals. Like,
Yes, for penises, maybe, but
Yeah.
even then, there are definitely some straight girls out there who are like, oh, like I like sucking dick, like I like
for
doing
sure.
it.
I just think if you took
And
like weighed them on a scale,
Yeah,
there'd
maybe
be more men.
I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
All right, we'll get into this next TikTok here.
I gotta pee. I don't. Why Yoda at the end?
Nah, this is the one year where I feel like this isn't gonna be me.
You're gonna be like, Amelia, wake up.
No,
Santa came.
You and Amelia. Like, I feel like Christmas Day, I'm gonna be so excited.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be charged. I'm gonna make sure that I go to sleep early so I can wake up with enough time that, like,
You're already disgustingly excited.
Will you make coffee on Christmas morning for
I got
me?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. 100%.
Well, no.
You want me to make you some tea?
I'll get it set up in the like at night, and then you'll just have to push the on button, so it'll already be.
Hey, sure, whatever. If that's what you want, I would make the whole fucking.
No, I want to make it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But I'm charged for this Christmas, and specifically because this was the first Christmas where I felt like I knew what I wanted to get you
What'd you get me?
and
Oh,
Amelia.
You're gonna love it.
And I could actually go and get it for you without worrying about like money. Like, and that was a huge thing.
Can I have a hint?
No,
Can I have a hint?
no, not at all. No.
What about a hint?
I can't give you a hint because it'll give it away. I promise you, I can't. I can't give you a hint because it'll give it away. Like, there's no hint that I can give you without giving it away. But I felt great because I was like, I can finally just it was more that I knew what I was getting you was something that you would like. Where, like, before, in the past, like, 4 years, where I was like, I don't know what to fucking get you. Like, I don't know. I was like, I want to get you something nice, but I don't really know.
Even though every 2 minutes I'm like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I
know.
want that. You should start writing them down in your phone.
But it's not that, though. Yeah, you might want that in that moment, but I'm looking at more towards, like, what's something that you want beyond that?
Okay,
Like,
so every time I say I want something, write it down and then add a tally if I mention it again, so then you know what I've mentioned the most.
I did this year, actually, though. I did kind of like, but yes and no. Like, I did kind of like, I listened to what you were doing and the things that you said that you were entertaining. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get things that are going to help you with the things that you're also entertaining. That's your
So
hint.
you just got something for the baby to
No.
help entertain.
No. I got things for you
I'm just
specifically.
kidding.
It has nothing to do. The things that I got for you, specifically me, have nothing to do with the baby at all.
I figured.
It has all to do with you and the things that you have entertained and the things that you have talked to me about, like things that will help you do the things that you want to do in your life.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's what I did.
I'm excited.
I am super excited, actually, for you for Christmas, and I'm not excited for Christmas for my own self at all.
Well, you should be a little bit.
I'm not. I mean,
do
you
it.
should be.
I should, but like,
Because I mean, I did spend time picking out your presents,
Which
so,
is-
like I hope that you'd be a little bit excited to get them.
I am. Like, don't get me wrong, like I am, but I am more excited about the things that I got you
Well, that's good.
than me
I
getting
guess.
things because I'm.
You should be excited.
Yeah,
Well, I am.
I also. It's hard to get me things because I'm an expensive person. Like
No.
I like expensive
only spent
things.
$5
so
on you.
it's hard to ask people, and I've talked about this with multiple people. I can't ask somebody for a $300 graphics card. You know, that's why I ask for Amazon gift cards and Micro Center gift cards because it's easier for me to ask it from multiple people, get all that money piled together, and then go and get the thing that I actually want.
I'm kind of the same way. I put $1,000 items in my Amazon wish list.
Yeah. It's hard to ask one person for a $1,000 item, you know, when you can just ask a bunch of people for Amazon gift cards or Micro Center gift cards and then be like, okay, well, after I get all that money, then maybe I might have to spend a little bit of my own money, but then I can go get exactly what I want rather than asking one person and then be like, well, that's too much money. I can't get that for you. Blah, 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 blah. That's why I asked for that. And I'm totally fine with getting gift cards. I don't mind not
Well, it's
opening
not
anything up.
you.
It's not about me anymore either.
It's not you, it's me.
No, I'm just saying it's other people that get irritated that
Which-
they don't have more to get you.
I want But see, this is what I want them to understand, though, is my side of things. What I just explained is that I understand that you want me to like open up things, but understand that you getting me those gift cards is just as much of an excitement for me.
For you.
Is it not about me? You're going to get those presents for me.
Is it about you, or is it them making themselves feel better by buying you materialistic things because they feel like they're buying your love?
No, well,
Is
then
Christmas
that's a
about
problem
getting
on
gifts
them.
or giving
That's a
gifts?
problem on them.
That's a problem on society.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it about giving
which is a problem on them.
or getting?
But you are giving me what I want. See, if you're really material, even if they are thinking about it in that perspective, then you should be thinking about, okay, well, I'm going to get him this Amazon gift card. Other people, that's what he asked for from other people also. So it's going to go into the level of like, this is going to go towards what he really wants. So I'm really helping him get what
There
he really
is
wants.
selfish intent on both sides.
Exactly.
No matter what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
How
how well are you looking into it? If somebody's upset at me because I don't have any, but because I'm not opening some like, expensive and big gift from them, like all I want is Amazon gift cards, that's on them. That's not on me.
In my opinion, go ahead. Sorry.
Because I am asking from them what I want. You are literally helping me get what I want. It's you like. It might not be that I open it up on Christmas Day and I get exactly what I want. And you could see me open that, but you giving me that card.
You should just react the way you would if it was what you wanted.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
still have the same reaction.
Yeah.
Like I'm still gonna be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, yeah, I'm this much closer to getting exactly what I want. Like I'm still gonna be just as excited as if you were to go out and spend $300 fucking on exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I'll still be just as excited because I know it's that much closer. It's that much more of a step to get to what I want. So like you should be happy for me.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, sometimes it feels like when you give somebody a gift card, it's like, okay, here's this gift card. It says exactly how much money you were worth for me to like spend on you, like on it. When you get it, here, I spent $25 on you. It's like forgetting to take the price tag off something like on just a regular Christmas gift in a way.
That's for me, because I grew up pretty poor, and when we would do like family Christmas, there was like parts of my family that were rich and parts of my family that weren't.
Mm-hmm.
So like the people who would give us gift cards were often like, it'd be like $100, and you're like, that's the most money I've ever seen in my entire life. So it depends on like what class of society you're from is how you're gonna look at it. Because for me, getting the gift card was like, wow, like. And if somebody who like my great grandmother, who was also very poor, gave me $5 in a Christmas card, that was like what we got every Christmas from one of our grandmas. It was $5. It was like we were taught, well, be thankful for that because that's all she has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's the same way that I feel.
I totally agree. And personally, I really like getting gift cards. I like receiving gift cards. I'm trying to come from the idea of like, that's one thing too, like gift cards, like you have, like it's a set amount of money that you have to give typically. I mean, some gift cards now are like anywhere from $10,000 to $5,000 you can put on it, and then you whatever. And then that it's even more like should we give them 25 or should we give them 50, or like what do they deserve / what can we afford? And then if you get them something different that's not a gift card, like to me that feels a little bit better sometimes, because then one, they don't know exactly how much money you've spent on them, so it's more about like
the thought.
Yeah, a little bit, and so you get to put more thought into it. You can kind of get them a few more things, because like that's one thing I would think about too. Like, like let's say we only have $25. That's the budget for the present. We could just get them a gift card, hand them the gift card, or we could spend $20 on 3 or 4 cheaper things, or 2 like semi-expensive things, and then be able to still get them like a card in a gift bag, that kind of thing.
But is
like,
it what they really want?
Yeah,
though?
but what would they like more?
And that's something to think about too. And that's where, like this year, I mean, I mean, you don't know this, but like we bought a lot of gift cards this year. In the past,
Well, actually,
I've been.
last time I was over, I heard your whole conversation.
Well,
back
yeah.
There were some gift cards talked
Well,
about. Yeah.
yes. So yeah, we bought like
I
a
won't give 'em
billion
away.
trillion gift cards this year,
Yeah.
and that's just easy for me. And you get to it's to the point you get to put this toward whatever you want. I don't know what you would like, and I don't want you to like. It's kind of wasteful sometimes to just buy somebody something and you don't know if they're going to use it or if they're going to like it or whatever. So
They
like
already
what
have
my
it.
family has already done or always done for the most part is we do Christmas lists, and some people aren't like
But see,
the biggest fan of it, but like I don't know, it makes more sense to me to ask for exactly what you want and then get that person what they want. Obviously sometimes it's fun to like come up with a surprise, like, and you know, maybe they like it, maybe they won't, but
that's like, okay, with me getting like Wes like the beer koozies, I was like, I know for a fact that he's gonna like those, you know, like allegedly, you know, I knew that he would enjoy those, that it would be something that he liked, like, so I got those for him. I didn't get him a gift card anywhere, like, but when it comes to me, again, like, I knew that this was something that was like, it wasn't cheap for the bulk that I got it, but I also like broke it up too. But I knew that the people that I got it for would really enjoy that.
How much was that worth?
Do you want me to be honest with you? Are you really asking this question? Because I'll tell you, I don't give a fuck.
I don't really care either. I just thought it was funny to ask in that moment.
Spent like what, $64?
no.
No.
It was 103.
Oh,
that's typical when like I'm asked of prices too when I buy things. My wife was like, "How much was that?" I'm like, $80, and then she checks. It's like, it was 160.
Well, after like shipping,
yeah, it was really
everything.
expensive shipping,
Yeah,
and tax and all that. But okay, but here's my question to you then.
Okay,
would you rather? Let's say you ask Wes for Christmas or for your birthday or whatever. He asks you what you want. You say a gift card, but then he comes across something really fucking cool, some Letterkenny thing or some Logic something or other.
Still be just as happy.
But would you prefer for him to get you the thing that he saw and thought of you and was like, man, my best friend, I know he loves this thing, he would really love it. Like, would you prefer to get that, something that's a little bit more thoughtful than just like a gift card?
It depends. I mean, because like if he's gonna give me something that he saw and that he was like, oh, I know that like my best friend is gonna like this, I'm gonna get this for him rather than a gift card, then I'll be like, obviously I'm gonna get that gift and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like, yeah, no, I really enjoy this, like, that's awesome, thank you so much. Whereas if he would give me a gift card to like, let's say Amazon or like Micro Center, I'd be like, oh my god, like, thank you so much. Like,
you're not answering my question.
It
would you prefer for him to get the more thoughtful gift or the gift card?
They're still thoughtful to me though. Either one is still thoughtful.
I guess it depends on whether or not you've told me what you wanted. Like if you said, "Hey, I want a gift card," and then I was like, "Well, hey, instead, I'm gonna buy you this thing that I think you'll like."
But then I'm gonna like that thing.
Yeah.
Because you know me, at least well enough that you know that I'm gonna like it. So I'm still gonna like it regardless of whether like it to me it doesn't matter. Like, it's still the thought that counts, whether it was that thing that you went out specifically and you found it and you were like, oh my god, I know he's going to like this. Or you got me that gift card because you know that that's going to go towards something that I also want. Like, it's still the thought that counts. Like, you know that I'm going to go and get something with that gift card that I really want. Like, you're still putting that money towards it rather than, like, $25. If you were to give me a $25 gift card that still goes towards something that I want, that's super expensive, that you couldn't just spend all that money on getting me, but you know that it's going towards that, or you got me something that was $25 that you know that I would really like, that wasn't a gift card, and I'm still going to enjoy it just as much. Like, it levels itself out. It doesn't matter. I'm going to enjoy either one.
The sticking point is the money, I think, though.
I don't think so.
Well, because, like, it's the valuation. So, like,
I think it's personal.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. A lot of what so you guys' gifts this year, because, like, I'm constantly broke, is, well, there's something I want to get you, but I'm probably not going to be able to. We'll see. But
We do not expect you to get us
No,
anything.
no. So
Nothing.
here's the thing,
Your
though, is like
presence
the
in our
gifts.
lives.
The gifts.
Seriously,
enough.
though.
The gifts that I am getting you though are, well, getting's the wrong word. I tend to like just make things for people, or like I'll do a gesture for somebody.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting you guys this year is super personal and like
I would honestly prefer that.
very tailored to each of you. So there's no money involved for me other than like supplies, not even necessarily.
But
So like,
but this is my point, is that regardless of whether it was something like that or you just got me a $25 gift card to wherever, like, yes, it being more personable, like it's something that you make.
if I
yes,
got you a
it makes it-
$25 gift card though, that's almost meaning like you don't need it really.
It depends on the place where it's going.
I guess.
And that's the thing too. Like I think there's a difference between, okay, I'm gonna get you a gift card for Micro Center because I know that you can put that toward the things that you like to get.
Yeah.
Or I'm just gonna get you a $25 Visa gift card. Like
That feels almost thoughtless and lazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No.
That is,
I
like,
kinda
really
get
wrong
that.
to me.
Yeah.
No, I kind of get that.
there's a level of thoughtfulness to things.
No,
if
I
you
kind
just
of
give
get that.
cash is, I think, okay. I wouldn't give cash to like I feel like you don't just give cash to your friends as a present, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't just give cash to Katie as like,
Yeah.
happy birthday, here's $20. Like I would, that's not the situation to do that. Cash is great for anybody who is younger than you and in your family.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of depends too. Like if it depends on what the person wants. Like I think that all of this all depends
Yeah.
on the person that you're getting the gift for. Everybody else is on, like, every single person that's in your life is on a spectrum. That's why, yes, people might hate just getting gift cards for me, but that's really what I want. It's gonna make me happy.
Well, and that's why I suggested too, I think to my mom, that they make cool gift card holders and things that
Yeah.
you can put the gift card in, like little
Right.
puzzles. I was like, you can make it fun. I mean, so I agree with you. I'm not, and everybody's gonna get you gift cards. That's what they got you last
I'm
year and
gonna
the year
fucking
before and
love
the year
it, dude.
before. So yeah, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna buy you gift cards because that's stupid, because our money's together and I can just say, hey, okay, just buy this thing.
I don't expect you to ever get me anything either, because like
You could get me a
I-
gift card, but even then, no, just give me cash so I could like use some of that on like Starbucks.
I will not get you a gift card ever.
Nice.
Like
Unless it
that's-
was the only thing I think you should get me a gift card for
is Starbucks.
is not a gift card, would be like a gift certificate. Like, here's this gift certificate. It goes toward getting your hair done.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Or here's this gift certificate toward a tattoo, like toward,
Yeah.
at this tattoo shop, that kind of thing. That makes sense to me. Massage.
Right.
But,
but even with like me, where it comes to like I spend my money periodically because the money just kind of happens to be there, and
I
that's
spend
the time.
money.
That's the
every
kind of
week.
time to spend things. Like I got my vape and I got an extra fan for my computer and stuff like that. Like, and it's things that I like kind of necessarily need in that moment too, where like I don't necessarily want to wait until Christmas, because I also feel that you feel that Christmas is a specific time for me to buy me what I want, when like that shouldn't necessarily be the case.
And that's why I was kind of like taken aback slightly when you're like, oh, like everybody's getting you all these cool things for Christmas and like you're gonna have a great Christmas, because to me I feel like I can get the things that like, why I don't feel like I really deserve like a bunch of stuff.
Yes,
But
you
two, like, and that's like a whole other issue, but like I get to get things when I want to get things. Like for the most part, anything that I want I can get. Like, you're about to let me buy a freaking expensive ass plane ticket to go to the other side of the country because I want to see my friend for the weekend. Like, that to me is enough. Like, you don't need to be getting me extra stuff. Like, I'm so thankful. Like, I'm so lucky I get to do that kind of thing. Like, you know how many women have to like hide money to like get away from their husbands because their husbands like take control of finances and shit, and like,
That's so gross.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
literally like, hey, go away for a few days. I'll take care of the baby like the whole time. Like I know that but I don't know. We have a different relationship than maybe some people, and I know
We
like
definitely have a different relationship.
this, especially the past like couple months or like 4 or 5 months. Like I work second, kind of like third shift, and I get up at like noon, and I get up, and like maybe make the baby lunch or whatever, but like you're with her the majority of the time. And even if I do work like first shift, I'm still gonna be gone in the morning until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then get home and like, yeah, I might make dinner or whatever, but like you still have the whole time where you're at home with the baby. Like you deserve time to be able to get out and to be able to do things on your own. Like that doesn't seem
a person first.
No, that doesn't seem like to me. You going out and doing that doesn't seem like I'm giving you something. This is your right. Like you being a stay-at-home mom, like this is something that I'm not giving to you. This is your right to be able to do something like this because you are a stay-at-home mom. If this is something you want to do, by all means, like I would support that 100%. I don't care where you go. You could go to fucking Europe. Like, I don't give a shit. I also, because of our relationship, like I trust you 100%. It's not like you're going out there to go and see somebody else, like
trust me, I'm not going to touch anybody else's balls.
Exactly. Like, you're going to go see one of your friends who just happens to live in another state and enjoy that state and enjoy your time away.
It just happens to be a legal state.
And just to enjoy yourself. You deserve that. Like 100%. Like I'm not giving you this. You deserve it. Like I'm making sure that my wife is taken care of. Like that's all it is. It's not a Christmas present. It's not a birthday present. This is just something that you deserve because you are my wife and you take care of our fucking family and you deserve it.
Aw, you guys are sweet. I have a good example of like here illustrates like shitty gift versus like thoughtful good gift regardless of price. So there's another podcast that I listen to and love where like they recently did a birthday on an episode and gifted one of the hosts of 3 best friends on the show, everybody on the team, producers and stuff. They all agreed to a $5 limit and bought this guy. It was Legion of Skanks. They bought Jay gifts under $5. And why can't I think of the political guy's name? Dave. Dave bought him popsicle maker because Jay's a larger guy who enjoys his sweets. So it was just thoughtful. It's under $5. Jay loved it.
That's a great gift.
It's
you can make popsicles out of everything.
It's an amazing, and they talked about it on the episode. He's like, I'm going to make orange juice popsicles.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. My mom has those in her freezer right now.
Yeah. So Lewis, his other best friend on the show, everybody else got him like thoughtful, like under $5, but you'll enjoy that I bought this for you because I was thinking about you. Like you might not use it all the time, but at least I love you.
Yeah.
Lewis,
of course,
didn't buy him anything. Under the table during the episode, wrote him a card, like made him one, and then shoved $100 from his wallet into it. So he went over the spending limit. Didn't think about his friend at all. He gave him more money than anybody else spent on the actual gift. But the joke of the episode was like, you're my best friend, and you thought the least about like the 100. Like, I don't even need this. We're famous. Like, what are you doing? Like, so that's an example of like, yeah, he spent more technically, but he put no thought into it. There's no love in the gift, and Jay's gonna enjoy the popsicle maker more than
right.
Yeah,
I mean, I get that, but like regardless of the money that you spend on me, like if I get a gift card or if you just give me cash, I'm not gonna be upset about it.
Yeah, but we also are not as rich as that guy.
I mean, true.
This is true. It's just a matter of like
perspective and understanding of the person.
How well do you know the person? What's your relationship? How much thought do you think should be put into the gift to relay like, because it's a holiday that we're as a people celebrating together. Like, Christmas is tied to Christianity now, but it started as like a pagan thing where like it's the cold month where we're all like struggling to not die. Like we're all huddled inside trying to like store up food all year for this. Like there's a celebration of like, this is the hardest part of the year we're going to go through together. Let's just like drink a bunch and eat a bunch. And we made it. But
my whole thing with like the gift cards and shit is that you are anybody that gets me a gift card is helping me do what I want to do with my life.
Well, you're a goal-oriented person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I ask you for a gift card
Yeah.
to help with the podcast, is specifically what I'm going to use it on. Is I'm asking you for a gift card, regardless of whether it's $10, $5, $15, $25, $50, $100, no matter how much money it is, you're helping me do what I want to do in my life. And that means so much more to me than getting me socks or getting me underwear or like pajamas. Like my mom, her thing is like every year she'll get us like a pajama set. And like we wear that Christmas morning. Like we get gifted that Christmas Eve and then we wear that Christmas morning. And like, no, I would much rather you not give me that and just give me whatever money you were to spend on that into a gift card to be put towards what I actually want to do in my life. Like when it comes to like the podcast or like with my computer, because that goes into the podcast also. Like these are two things that I am extremely passionate about, that I want eventually my life to revolve around. Like I like to play video games and stuff like that, so that helps out, but it also helps out with like editing for the podcast, and I want the podcast to become a specific form of income for my life. So like when you put that, no matter how much money that you put into that, it's going to mean something to me that you decided to put that money into it because you think that I can make it doing this thing. That's what I'm asking you for. I'm asking you to believe in me enough that I'm taking this seriously enough that I can make it one day, and that this can be something that I make a life out of, where I can support my family off of this. That's why no matter what you get me, it's still going to mean something to me, whether it's a gift card, because you know I'm going to use that gift card towards something that's going to go towards making my life into what I want it to be, or you give me something that actually means something to me besides like the podcast and shit. Like you're like, oh, I thought about you and I got this for you. You thought about me, and that either way, it levels itself out. They're both the same, to me, at least.
You're a special boy. I say that because, like, it's a very special scenario with you where, like, you are very goal-oriented and minded, where, like, the podcast is something that means a lot to us. And so buying that type of gift for you would be the most thoughtful. I think originally what you were getting at is, like, is the act of Christmasing about the person giving the gift and what they put into it, or is it about yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says she's done with this. All right.
That was a lot of talk about the act of. This episode might come out after Christmas. It probably will.
Yeah.
But as a guide for next year, like, these are the do's and don'ts of buying gifts right now, people.
Yeah.
Pay attention to us.
Only do it if it's thoughtful.
Uh-huh.
Next TikTok.
Hi, welcome to National Bookstore Chain. How can I help you? Yeah, I'm looking for a dinosaur word book. A dinosaur word book. We probably have something like that in our kids section. Follow me, let's go take a look. That makes no sense, but okay. So as you can see, we have a huge selection of dinosaur books for different age groups. This one's really popular. Okay, no, you don't understand. I'm really looking for, it has to be a dinosaur word book. Okay, so you mean like matching words, but with dinosaurs? I don't see anything in the store, but we could take a look on our computer and see what's in the system. I mean, I was told you would have this book. Tell me more? You know, you take a word, you look at the book, and it gives you a bunch of types of that same word, just more articulate and shit, you know? So you mean a thesaurus? Yeah. Oh my god.
A dinosaur word book! I was wondering where that was going the whole time.
Yeah. Yep. And then you get there and you're like, oh my god.
That's one of those jokes that you should have seen coming, but is like just so...
It's so out there.
And now every time you show it to somebody or see it again, you're not going to be able to hold it in.
And I love dinosaurs. I was a dinosaur nerd as a child. Like, and
you didn't even know about the thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Oh my god.
I'm going to just call it a Thesaurus Rex from now on.
Anyway, this next one, this one's for me.
Oh my god.
This is selfish.
Hold on,
You're gifting yourself?
You
Yeah.
gotta give me a second, cause
Did that one break your brain?
Good.
Wait, was everybody's got their talk that breaks them.
that one. He said I need the dinosaur.
The soundboard has just become those two drops now.
Oh my god, that one was hilarious.
Whew. That was like a lot of build up for an awesome payoff too. Good joke, bro.
I think that's why it's so funny because you're like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
What's the dinosaur word book? I'm so confused. I'm like, I know it's gonna be something stupid. He must have misunderstood what he was at. Like he clearly is in the wrong, but you don't know what's gonna happen.
I
You
thought
don't
the
know.
joke was gonna be Dinosaur World, and I'm like, that's not good enough.
Oh
Like,
my god, that was hilarious. I'm sorry, that was.
we're just missing a letter. That's the joke. No,
Yeah.
it was so much better than that.
Oh, that was so funny. All right, here we go. Next one.
A scene in a movie that is not inherently sexual that you find really hot.
This isn't the first time I've been out with law enforcement. This ongoing flirtation.
That's from the movie Stick It. If you haven't seen it,
I haven't seen Stick It,
Oh,
but I
honey.
can see how that's
I
kind of
haven't
hot.
seen it, and I don't know. It's not hot to me because I don't know the reference.
It was
honestly.
kind of hot.
I
could-
mean,
out of context.
nah, not to me.
Somebody just stripping while running?
I needed the
It's
context.
athletic and they're
She-
taking
she
their
pulled
clothes off.
She pulled off her sweatshirt or whatever to a Ramon shirt, and like to me,
You don't
okay.
like the Ramones?
So
I know the-
basically, it's a gymnastics movie,
Ooh.
but this is before that part. Because she ends up basically they make her choose between jail and juvie and going back to like train to do gymnastics. Yeah.
I recently discovered that I'm really into like masked people in movies. So like Phantom of the Opera or like even animated shows like the villain Slade from I'm a straight male and the villain Slade from Teen Titans, like the original one.
So
Is oddly sexual and like attractive to me in a weird like
the Masked Singer.
I don't watch that show.
But you like masked people, so I think you should watch it.
Something
That's
about
a whole like big ass bee costume and shit.
yeah. It's not the full on
joke. Jesus Christ, people! Can we not make jokes?
Okay,
anymore?
what about The Mask? Like Jim Carrey, like when he was in The Mask, like
yeah.
There's
that?
something a bit oddly sexual about that to me.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. I think
Sexual?
I think masks are horny to me a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't know what you look like.
Do you guys-
like it's like an
Did you guys-
anonymous thing.
Do you guys have a mask at home?
We should. There's another person in the Discord that I had a conversation about this with, but we were talking about the movie The Boy, if you guys haven't seen that. But I don't want to give it away, but there is a masked character in that movie that if you ever do watch it, there's like an air about them that is like, I could hold you down and fuck you. That is exciting to me. And I don't know, it's the mask that does it. Like, I'm not into aggressive sexuality to an extreme, but it's the mask. It's the mask, the not knowing. Yeah. So I identify with that. There's some movie scenes where I'm like, that's not sexual at all.
I never thought about that before, but that might be that. Maybe we need a mask. I don't know.
Not for me. Honestly, I'm not quite.
You wouldn't wear a mask for me?
I mean, I guess maybe if it was for you, but for me, no. That's
Like
what
one of those full body suits where I
that's
didn't
what I
know-
was saying.
Like an
for
American
me,
Horror Story. What if you're actually a
gimp suit?
ghost?
Oh, a ghost.
I don't think I could do a whole.
Well, she
gimp suit
thinks it's
thing.
her husband, but it's actually a ghost, and then she gets pregnant by the ghost.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
like I
remember
said,
that. Crystal was into that for a
Oh,
while.
it's not a ghost.
I'm more of a pleaser, so like whatever can help you, I would most likely be down for. But when it comes to me, that's what I was saying. Like for me, I wouldn't want you to like hide yourself.
No, because I don't think I'd be able to breathe. Even if I could breathe, I wouldn't be able to breathe. You know.
But yeah, no, I just fuck, I can't contain myself with you just in general. Like, I mean, fuck, regardless of whether we were in a mask or not. Me seeing your body and just seeing you, I'm gonna be like, fuck, dude, that shit turns me on in general. Like,
It's nice when you find that person in your life. That's how I am with Crystal.
Until they're like, well, we can't. I'm not gonna air out our business.
Oh shit.
Well, he's like, we can't do foreplay because it's just too much. Like, I can't do foreplay and do sex. And I'm like, well, but I have to do foreplay and then do sex, or it's not enough for me.
I'm not afraid. It's okay.
There's a middle ground there that you guys can come to.
Well, it's more of like me not lasting long.
No, I get
my
that.
whole issue with that.
There's certain positions with Crystal where like it's just too like mentally and physically stimulating for me, where I'm like, we have to save that for like. But there's training and like ways to build up like a tolerance for that type of thing,
which I need to work on.
Yeah,
honestly, like that's like I really do find her attractive. So like
that's awesome.
It doesn't matter. Like it really does not matter what we're doing or what position that we're in. Like I can't help it. Like
that's fucking awesome.
My body is just like, hey, this is what you like, bro. Like you're gonna everywhere, dude. Like
boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, but
which would be fine and flattering if it didn't affect
my
sex experience.
Yes.
That's just frustrating.
Issue. Yes.
It's all good and fine for you that you're having so much fun.
But it's not, though. That's where that's the issue, because it doesn't, though. Like, I don't like it either. Like, it causes problems because, like I said, I'm a pleaser. So, like, when I can't please her before me, that's an issue. Like, I don't like that. I don't want that. I want her to feel just as good as I do. So if that's not the case, then I'm having a bad time also. Yeah, I might it might get to the climax, but like for me, but if it doesn't happen for her, then that's an issue. So it's not all sunshine and fucking rainbows. You know, like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't saying that it's at all a good thing. I was just pointing out that like in her experience with it, that it's like that's fine and dandy for you, but for me, yeah,
and it might be flattering for her,
but
it's not the best thing either.
Yeah,
you know, like
how I feel that I think a lot of like if you love the person you're with, you experience that in your relationship. Crystal and I have gone through similar things where it's like, depending on my mental state, sometimes I can't finish the way I want to, or like if I drank too much, stuff like that. So like it's then we have to have the conversation of like, am I not attractive enough for you in the moment? And then you know you go through spots like that in your relationship, and then there's also the times where like I can't do doggy style because it's too fucking hot.
I don't have that issue. I'm just like, you're just too fucking hot all the time. Like I just can't help it. Like,
I just try to be bad at sex.
It's not. I don't know how you can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish you could.
Maybe I should wear a mask over my whole body.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know.
Body mask.
Like I don't know if
there's some
is that gonna turn me on even more? Like I don't know.
What are the people that they only have sex through like a hole in the sheet?
Oh, I had family for a while that was this it's Jehovah or no.
What are you talking about?
They put a hole
in a
sheet and the sheet is between them so that they
can't see who the other person is.
No, so they're not touching. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Very Orthodox Jewish people do that.
Yeah.
And then also
no fucking way.
Who Joseph Smith? Was that the Jehovah's or
Joseph Smith was yes.
Yeah. That's also a thing with them. Like the magical underwear and the sheets and stuff like that. That's all part of that whole thing as well.
Yeah, because he was the one with the tablets and shit.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Joseph Smith was the original person for the Jehovah's Witness or whatever they fucking call themselves now. But like, no, he's right. Yeah, Joseph Smith. Oh wow, really? No. So you don't touch?
Well,
I mean,
something touches something else.
that's not gonna help me though, because that's the issue. Regardless of like
Condom?
Even then, it's just a thought of me like being with you. I can't help it. I just love you so much. I just
Stop. Damn. Fuck, man. Love me a little bit less so I can come a little bit more.
No,
that's all
but
we
that's-
need.
But okay. So this is where you were talking about like the foreplay thing. I just need to make sure that I like take care of you first.
But that's not always what I want.
I know it's not.
You know,
and that's
not all
also an
women
issue.
are
That's
able
also an
to have
issue.
an orgasm via penetration. I'm one of the ones lucky enough to be able to do that sometimes, and I would like to do that.
And I'm sorry. I really am.
It's-
I don't like.
Hey,
I mean,
I have a suggestion. Does like cowgirl, like for me, it's not as stimulating when Crystal's on top, but I enjoy it because it's fun to look at, and it's really, it's just as Wow.
We've tried.
Because for a lot of guys, it's like there's not enough happening in the verticality of the motion to reach climax. Wow,
No, because
you're really you're really
she's
into
good
her.
at it though.
You're really
She's
into
good at
her.
it though. I don't want to air this on the podcast, but like,
Be worse at topping.
that's what she's saying. It's literally her, bro. I'm telling you, it's her. It's literally
Stop being
her.
so good at it.
It's not. It doesn't matter what she does though. I love her so fucking much, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and we've talked about this before. Like, I've changed a lot about me and my whole life, like, to make sure that she's happy. And this is one of those things that like sucks that I can't change.
Well, you've always been a very sexual person since I've like known
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And she's the one time where you've made that part of your personality all about someone else.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to me that like because you're sexually excitable, like just in general. But now it's like with somebody that you care about to the extreme.
And it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
I can't control it. Like literally I can't control it because I I could devour you. Like I literally like
Can we wait for Wes to leave and for us to not be
This is getting
recording?
so horny.
Jeez.
I just love you so fucking much.
I love
Like
you too.
I don't think like you have issues about like
Hey, you better not be like that guy. I'm not gonna let you look at my tits.
Were you raised by 13
don't-
witches?
I don't constantly sexualize you, but like a lot of the times, yeah. I mean, you're fucking beautiful to me. You are absolutely astounding to me. I love you with all of my fucking being. That's why I am the way that I am to you, because you mean so much to me. You mean everything to me. Like I can't, and it sucks that when it comes to our like sexual life that like it goes that far to an extreme, and I don't like it either. And I've expressed this to you also. Like it's become an issue. I don't know. I have looked into it, and how to kind of like deal with that, and the things that people say to do aren't really helping. So like I don't know what to do with this.
What about like a sex therapist? I'm all for therapy. Of all kinds.
I haven't thought about it.
Maybe talk to somebody who's like a professional in that area.
I mean, I haven't thought about it until
Beyond that too, like just age helps in general. Like it's not always gonna be like this. Like
I
you're
hope
still
not.
You're still young and virile, and like it's one of those things where like it's not always gonna be that. I mean, for some people it is. Like you're just always. But
I mean, I hope that like I'm 25 right now.
Yeah.
So I hope that like right now
you're at the peak of your
I'm
male
literally-
sexuality. Like yeah.
I hope that that's the case, and
Yeah.
that eventually it'll like kind of die down. But like, it still sucks because it's not who I want to be. I want to be somebody that pleases my significant other, and it frustrates me when I don't do that. I'm not happy if she's not happy, and I see it in her, and that shit fucking sucks, and it hurts me, and I don't like it at all. So, yeah,
We'll work on it. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
We went, forgive the pun, balls deep on a few great topics this episode.
Oh my god. We did. We really did. But let's go ahead and end this episode here. So make sure to follow us on all of our socials. There's Instagram at Blue Skies Pod. There's Twitter at Blue Skies Pod. You can also follow us on Facebook at Blue Skies from the Basement.
Do it.
You can join our Discord. The link will be down in the fucking description. You can email us at blueskiespodcast@gmail.com. Or
Snail mail.
Snail mail. Tell us your fucking stories. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
If you heard something that we talked about, you want to tell us your own fucking story, send us an email at blueskiespodcast@gmail.com. We would be more than happy to read it on, the podcast to be able to relate to you guys and everything else. You can also call in or leave a text message at 614-600-2056. That's 614-600-2056.
Yeah, we confirmed that text worked finally.
Yeah, the text do work. So if you send us a text message, we'll fucking get that shit. You can also buy some of our merch at tpublic.com/BSFTB. Which is a great way. I got this sweatshirt on right now. If you're listening on YouTube or looking at YouTube right now, this sweatshirt that I got, you can get one of these.
They do 35% off site-wide constantly. So there's an end-of-year sale happening right now. I'm sure there will be like a beginning-of-year sale happening. So
yeah, they constantly do sales on tpublic.com/BSFTB. We have multiple designs out there that have all been designed by Wes, and he does a great fucking job with doing the designs and shit. We have masks out there too. So, during this whole COVID shit, if you need like a different mask, we've got the designs for the mask too. So
they come in two different styles. You got your basic, just like flat around the ears type thing, and then you've also got your seam in the middle, a little more like double layered filtered mask.
Yeah.
Well, not filtered, but you know what I mean. It's a double layer, and it's fits a little bit better.
But it's got a design on it, so it's another way to support the show. There's plenty of things on the G Public too. There's pillows, there's phone cases, there's laptop cases, there's t-shirts, there's hoodies, there's baseball tees. I mean, there's a bunch of shit. Tapestries, there's a bunch of shit on T.
We don't fuck with tapestries.
But if somebody else wants to, you're more than welcome to.
And if you buy that stuff on sale, you get it for cheaper, but we still get the same cut.
We still get the same amount of cut from it, so it really does help us out. If you want to donate to the podcast, which right now would be a huge help, especially during this Christmas time, and we're trying to upgrade the podcast and trying to help ourselves get better cameras so we get better quality to bring out to you guys. We have a Venmo, we have a Cash App, and we have a PayPal.
$15 a month covers the cost of the show. Anything beyond that is profit.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally, any amount. If you want to donate $1, that helps us out.
Yep.
It's enough, and we appreciate it, and we will shout you guys out on the
had
podcast.
2,000 people donate $1 like a month. Like if you
Holy
committed
shit.
to, if we had 2,000 people, like which for a podcast, we got to do a little bit longer, but just for a pod, that's not an unachievable goal. Like if we have 10,000 listeners eventually, which isn't even a big podcast, 1,000 of you, 2,000 of you donating $1 a month.
$1.
That's income. Like that's a paycheck for both of us.
Literally.
Like
It
we
helps
eventually
us
want to
out.
get to the point where like I work a job that I hate, and I've been suffering for the past couple of weeks. And if you're in the Discord and you've been on the Instagram and the socials and all that stuff, like you'll know that that's not what either of us want to continue to do for the rest of our lives.
No.
Like we're serious about this. We're in this for the long haul. So if you enjoy what we're doing,
I mean, what I was talking about earlier, like that applies to you too.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do. We want to bring nothing but content to you guys and to continue to do what we do here.
I want to do another podcast eventually where it's like a fiction narrative. Like I want to tell you guys a fucking story. If you want to hear that, then I mean, support us and
donate to the show. We've
look
got a
forward to more.
Venmo, PayPal, and a Cash App. So all the links to that will be down in the description. No matter what you're listening on, whether it be YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, it'll all be down in the description. Support the show. It really does help us out doing what we do here and, bring more content to you guys. I also want to point out that we did reach our goal.
Yes, we did.
We did reach our goal.
Yeah.
Of we tripled our fucking downloads from our first year to our second year. We went from 1,000 downloads in our first year to 4,000 plus downloads in our second year.
Yeah, we've gone up another. I mean, we're up to 40, 50 last I checked.
No shit.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so fucking much for all the support, for watching the podcast, for listening to the podcast. We thank you guys so fucking much for all of that shit. Like, we love you guys. All the support you guys given us. It's amazing. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure. So follow us on all the places, rate and review us on all the places, help support the show, get
Especially
us on the charts.
iTunes. If you're on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. Write a review for us. We appreciate that shit. It definitely helps us out. If you give us the 5-star review.
We're coming up on 2 years, and
Yeah.
I don't see stopping at any point. Like,
Not at
it
all.
hasn't felt like 2 years to me. This
Mm-mm.
is a blast every time we do it. I love the conversations that we have. I love that, like, we've gotten to the point where, honesty, you're a regular part of the show and you're contributing talks and we're having cool conversations all
Love
the
it.
time. Like, I want to see where the show keeps going, and I love the people who are following us now. Like, we have about 80 people in the Discord, and not all of them are active, but the ones who are, it's like we have a dope community that we're building, and it's making me tear up, like, thinking about it. So I love you guys. Thanks for listening and watching.
Hey, thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
You needed a shout out, so I got you, bruh.
He's been having it rough a little bit lately.
I know, but we love him.
Discord's sometimes a bad place. Stay out of that side of it, guys.
Whatever. Just join our Discord. We love you guys. All right. So thank you so much for listening to Blue Skies from the Basement. This has been another fucking great episode. And have a good rest of your day, night, whatever it is for you. And later.
Happy New Year's, too.
Yeah,
Peace.
Happy New Year's.